This is Thursday evening, just 3 days to go to the county final. The action is alive here in Killarney. You saw the town, you saw the betting in the town. Crokes, hot favourites here in Killarney. Castleisland, Desmonds were favourites in Castleisland. So this evening we'll be going into the Crokes pitch and we'll be interviewing the players, the captain, people involved with them, and we're going to interview the chairman here this evening with this beautiful background here, Mike Neeson from the Crokes Club. Indeed, with me here, as I said, Mike Neeson, chairman of the Crokes Club. Mike, what's the excitement been like in Killarney all week?
Well, Paddy, we've experienced, as you can see, over being there in the 87, 88 and now 91. We more or less kept a low profile on this occasion. We were shocked in 87 and we were very, very disappointed in 88. And we've come this time with a different approach. Kept a low profile. This team, as you know, has been active for the last five years, no doubt. Especially last year winning the Munster Championship. So to keep it high on all occasions, it's rather difficult. So we figure out that hopefully we'll celebrate after Sunday if we get over Castleisland and Desmonds.
I've been talking to people there in the town this evening, and the thing that's amazing is the same people have stuck by this side. You've been involved with this side, even gone back to 87, same guys in charge, you've been there yourself up along the way. Has it been hard to keep it going all the time amidst those unbelievable defeats in 87 and 88?
It probably has. We've had Eddie there for a few years, and Taggy and Donny. One or two of them took a rest in 89 and they came back again for 90. And a good campaign in 90 and a good campaign so far this year, 91. The club overall has gone marvellous as well, especially with our hurlers and our junior team and our senior team. We have 4 finals within the next 4 weeks to try and get over. The club is a big club, but a great help from everybody concerned. The players are marvellous. I think number one are the players, marvellous players.
Tell me, Mike, you've played against the Desmonds on a number of occasions you have, and you've seen them. What do you fear most about them on Sunday?
I fear the Desmonds as a unit. I think they're an experienced side, especially with their achievements back in 85 and 86. They've always been well up there in Division 1 in the County League. They're an experienced team and they're going to be very, very difficult to beat. However, going into this game, I think we have a 50-50 chance. And if we can put it together on the day, I hope that we'll be victorious.
Mike, the very best of luck to you on Sunday, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Paddy.
Me here, team captain Shawnee O'Shea. Shawnee, you were playing in both 87 and 88 county finals. Describe to me how you felt firstly after the defeat in 87.
Of course, it was very bad, like, you know. We thought that was the only county final we'd ever get to, you know, and we blew our chance. But we came back in 88, and we thought we had the greatest chance of our life. And we blew that one as well, so I think after 88, like, we were convinced that we'd never get to a county final again because, you know, the team were getting older too, like, you know, and a lot of fellas were drifting off here and there. Some fellas went to America after it, and some fellas are still there, you know. Donald Mangan and a couple of more of them are still there, like, you know, which we miss very badly on this present team now. But that's it.
You still have a fairly strong squad, and has the spirit been good in training?
Oh, the spirit has been tremendous, like, you know, every fella's mature enough now, you know, to realise there's no bickering or fighting or nothing, like, you know, that fellas know what in their heart and soul what they have to do, like, you know. And
tell me, has the training been hard, Shawnee?
well, the training was hard for the Munster Championship, but we just kept it ticking over, like, and did a couple of extra nights coming up to the final, alright, coming up to this final, but otherwise than that, it was just the normal routine, like, you know, training. We got fit at the start of the year and we just maintained it, like.
Would you say that winning the Munster Club Championship was a big boost, and did it help to get the spirit going for the championship?
Oh, it was a massive boost, like, because I suppose the biggest thing we had won previous to that was the County Club Championship, like, you know, and to win a Munster Championship was a big boost, like, because our problem is we fall in the big day, you know, normally. So I think to get the Munster Championship out of the way, it proves that we can play well on a big day, like, you know. And I think, you know, hopefully this year, no.
You'd be hoping that all will come right. Tell me, what do you know, Shawnee, about this team from the Desmonds? What kind of an outfit have they got?
Well, to tell the truth, I didn't see them now in the semi-final against Kearns, but Desmonds, anytime you play them, are tough, like, you know. They're a physical, tough, hard team, like, you know. They have good footballers, like, you know. They'll be very hard to beat 1 against 1, like, you know, 15 against 15, but whoever gets the breaks, like, you know.
Would you hope to be taking Monday, Tuesday of next week maybe off, maybe the whole week all going well, Shawnee?
Well, actually, I'd have to be back at work Tuesday, alright. You know, we started a big job there, so.
You used to be back either way. Now, just before you go, there's a bit of a link between yourself and your grandfather. Was your grandfather on the Crokes team that won in 1914?
Right, yeah, he was. played centre back, Paddy Healy, Headford.
So is that the only link that you know of with the present side?
I think that's all I know of anyway, but I wouldn't know really.
So in actual fact, Crokes are actually going for a second title on their own. Actually, I had thought earlier on the Crokes actually never won it on their own. So Crokes actually won it on their own in 1914.
They're going for 4, I think. They won 4. As far as I know, they won 4. Yeah, we 4 county titles, but the last one was 1914, which is a way back, you know.
It's a long time to wait, and you'll be hoping to have the cup back here with you, all going well on Sunday night.
Oh, hopefully. That's for sure and certain.
Shawnee, thank you very much. With me, Sheila Murphy, mother of the last Kerry All-Star, Connie Murphy from Killarney. And we're going to ask you, Sheila, what's it like in the home of a player, in particular a star player like Connie, on the week in the build-up to a county final like this?
Oh, it's very exciting, really. We try to keep a low profile, but with all the lads in the house, it's very exciting.
Is Connie the nervous type?
Not really, no. On the morning of a match, he's very quiet. He might take the dog for a walk or something like that.
Would you notice now that in the morning of a match that he wouldn't eat as much as would he normally have the same breakfast, or would he have a different routine when he get up in the morning?
No, he would eat his breakfast, a fine breakfast, really. And but he would be quiet and, you know, just thoughtful in himself, and that's all, really.
Have you been a great Crokes supporter all through the years you have?
All our lives. We were followed Billy Myers, Dan Kavanagh, Teddy Connor, all down through the years.
And you would be hoping that it to make a great night for celebration in Killarney?
Certainly, yes, yeah.
Can you see them doing it, Sheila?
Please God, we will. They're a great bunch of boys. They've all come up from under 10, under 12, under 14, under 16, and they've been all playing together for years, so I can see them doing it all right, yeah.
There's been a lot of great underage work done over the years, hasn't there, in the Crokes Club?
Wonderful, really, yes. They're a great bunch of, the club are wonderful, really, and it's lovely to see the young boys and the younger little ones coming up and taking their places.
Would you say now, Sheila, that all the mothers of the players would be extra nervous on Sunday? Would they be taking a rosary bead with them? Would they be praying harder, putting out, or saying novenas, etc., do you think?
Oh, certainly. I don't go to the matches at all time myself, and I stay at home and say the Hail Marys.
And would you listen to it in Kerry Radio or anything like that? No?
No, not really, no, until I hear the result.
You would prefer just to hear the full-time result? You would prefer not to go through any agony, is that right?
Exactly, that's right, yes, yeah.
OK then, Sheila, I hope that you have no agony to go through on Sunday and that all goes well for you, and thank you very much for joining us. Here with me, Murt O'Shea, father of the captain for Sunday's game and also chairman of the Killarney UDC. What's it been like in your house all week, Murt?
Oh, it's been hectic. Paddy, there's no doubt about it. This is our third final now in 5 years, and we're looking forward to this one. We missed the bus on 2 occasions, you know, the 87 one, and we won't forget that one too easily. And well, 88, I suppose we were beaten fair and square that year by St. Kieran's. They beat us well, like, with no complaints after that match. But I'd say this is the one, and I think that the lads are looking forward to this one, and I think we can win it. Like.
Would you say that the losses of 87 and 88 would go down as a very good experience and will stand to them on Sunday, Murt?
Oh, I'd say so, there's no doubt about it. It stood to them during the club championship anyway. They had a long campaign during the winter with the Munster Club Championship, and I suppose all these things, they're together now for 5 or 6 years, and all these things, I suppose they'll get more experienced, and I hope they will be more experienced Sunday anyway, that they won't let the same thing happen again.
Now, your son Pat is also in charge of coaching in County Kerry. He's also playing on Sunday. Do you find having a number of the family involved makes it harder and more tense on yourself when you go to the game on Sunday?
Well, naturally you do, I suppose. You know that one time we used to take much notice of it, but lately the nerves started peaking. And we have 2 lads playing, naturally enough, like, and I have 2 nephews playing as well, of course.
Who are the 2 nephews, Murt?
Colin and Padre O'Shea, they're 2 nephews of mine as well, and so with the forum in action,
it's going to make a fairly exciting day. Now let me ask you about, you know, what this would mean to Killarney. You're chairman of Killarney UDC. What would this mean to the town of Killarney for this title to come back?
Oh, it would no doubt about it. It would be a great boost for the town and for East Kerry if the Crokes can win this title, because I think it's 83 that the Killarney won it last, and you know, like that, for the youth of the town and everything, it will give them a great boost up, like to say that a club team can go out and win the county championship, and it'll give heart to the other clubs in town as well in the area, that they might have a cut at it as well, like.
Finally now, Murt, what do you know about this Castleiden team? You've seen them play over the years. Are they a good side?
Oh, definitely, they're a good side. Sure, any team that goes to the final and must be a good side, like, and Castle Island have a good team always, and they have. It was always touch and go between themselves and the Crokes for the last few years, and I'd say it will be the same probably Sunday. Whoever will have the look, the small bit of luck on the day should come out on top, I'd say.
Okay, Mark, thank you very much, and the best luck to you on Sunday. Now with me, Taggy Fleming, selector for the coming year, and Taggy was also involved in those famous years of 87 and 88. Taggy, can I ask you first, what would you see as the main difference between 87, 88 and the present era?
Well, there isn't much in personnel, but I suppose the big difference is that they have come more of age. You know, they're a more mature team now than they were in 87 and 88. And having won the Munster Club Championship last year, I think it made them more mature again. And I'd say that's one of the biggest factors. And I think Roland Nair on the 40 is a big factor in our team at the moment, because over the last few years, I suppose Connie Doherty done a good job on the 40, but he wasn't as forceful, hopefully, as Roland will be on Sunday.
Tell us a bit about this Roland. Where did he come from?
Well, Roland Nair, even though his father is German, he was born in Fossa. His mother is a Killarney girl, just over the wall here, and he played juvenile football up to 16 years of age, and then he continued his studies as an accountant. And then last year he came back in 89, I think, or was 90. He came back as well, but he didn't play much because he got hurt early in the year at another code, and then he decided to come back this year and give full commitment to football, except for the month that he went on holidays.
Right. No, he was away. Was he away for one of those games, was he?
He missed both the East Kerry game and the semi-final. No, he wants to come back for the semi-final, but what happened in between, we don't know.
We'll have to ask himself maybe later on. Taggy, tell me, in the build-up now in relation to the training and etc., has there been a different sort of approach this year than in the previous 2 years?
Well, the approach, I suppose, different in the sense that we started in January because we were in the All-Ireland Club semi-final against Salt Hill, and it made the boys train for January and February. So I think the hard training they did in January and February meant they hadn't to put in as much effort for the championship later on as they had other years. You know, other years you'd be training in February and March, but it'd be just light training. Whereas in February and March this year, we were really going hammer and tongs for the All-Ireland Club, right, which we didn't succeed in.
Now, tell me finally, Taggy, if the cup is to come back on Sunday evening, if you were asked to say to the players the best way to go about it, what's the most important thing from your point of view as to how they play on Sunday in order to bring that trophy back?
Well, I think the most important thing is they play for 60 minutes, because over the last 3 games they've inclined to take a lull. Especially in West Kerry, they took a lull for nearly 45 minutes, and it was the last quarter of an hour. Now against East Kerry, they took a lull just after half-time, and same against Mitchell's. Now, hopefully on Sunday they won't take any lull, because if they do, I think they could be in right trouble. And the other thing I want them to do is that they will start kicking points, because with Charlie in goal, there's no hope you're going to sneak any goal. You must kick him over the bar. You might get a lucky goal, but he's too big and too experienced.
Okay, Taggy, on that note, we wish you the best of luck and hope all goes well for you on Sunday.
Thanks very much, Bob.
With me, Crokes team trainer for a good number of years, Eddie Tatton O'Sullivan. First of all, Eddie, you're a Castle Island man. Will that pose any problems for you on Sunday next?
Really, no. No, it will not. No, Pod. I used to play with the Desmonds one time, a long time ago. But that's gone out, is you? They have to.
It's a different ball game now than the next Sunday.
That's in the States.
Yeah, different ball game.
Yes.
Tell me, Eddie, going back there, you've been involved with the Crokes for a good number of years, and it has always been a big ambition of yours to win a county championship. How would you say has your training, has it changed or has it differed from the 87 88 in the build-up in the present year?
Well, I'd say this year it has, yeah. We have kind of changed. We probably played more football this year than we did the previous years. Mostly we've done a lot of physical stuff and running the years previous, but we have quite a bit of football played at training. Right.
Tell me, has the spirit been good in the camp?
Oh, outstanding, yeah. It has been great, really. The only thing, we couldn't get Connie down as often as we'd liked, but nevertheless he just called now on the phone that he can't make it tonight because he'll be hopefully be up for a week after this.
That's what he'll be hoping anyway.
After next Sunday, but that's what he's hoping.
Tell me, Eddie, from the 87-88 side, are there many changes in relation to the overall panel? Will say have many gone or have many been added to it since then?
Well, I'm just trying to figure who's gone. Oh, Mike Doodie's one that I know of.
Comes to mind, yeah.
Pat Donoghue, I guess, and Josie Donoghue.
Mm-hmm.
They'd be probably gone. Like, Pat should be here all the time, but he didn't put in the effort.
Mm-hmm.
We have added a few young lads. Roland Nair now would be probably unknown to a lot of people, but he's played a lot of underage with us.
Mm-hmm.
But he's playing quite well for us, you know.
Right. Now, overall, you've won the Munster Club the coming season, or the season that's gone by. Has that been a big boost towards the county championship?
Oh, it has, yeah, it has. Well, you see, we thought at one stage we'd never win a final, but hopefully we broke that barrier, and hopefully it'll happen again on Sunday.
Now, you've been involved in many games against the Desmonds. You played with them long ago. You played against them many times with the Crokes, being in charge of the Crokes team. How good a side are they, Eddie?
The Crokes, I don't think we saw the best of the Crokes yet, I'll be honest. I've seen it on occasions, but I've seen it especially against West Kerry when we were beat, if you like, and then I saw it here in the park when we played probably our best football this year, and we're capable of playing better. You know, that's my honest belief.
What about the Desmonds outfit? How good a side are they?
Well, the Desmonds are good. The Desmonds have been good for the last 10 years. We were all with them when they won the All-Ireland. I'll never forget that day above in Clonmel. And they're a good side. I'm glad to see Dermot Hannafin back. Dermot, I was a selector with Kerry when he broke his leg, and I felt very sorry for him because he was a very genuine man. And hopefully that things will go right for him on Sunday, but hopefully we win. That's the way I'd look at it.
At the end of the day, you're hoping that it'll make a great night in Killarney. Have you applied for exemptions, or will they be given anyway, Eddie?
I doubt it. We won't look for any exemption. We look for nothing now until we get it, and after that we'll try to do something after.
After that, you take the law into your own hands.
Before we had it all done, we had no cup. We had everything organised and nothing done. So we have actually done nothing, and we're playing it kind of low if we can. Yes, yeah.
Okay, Eddie, then the best of luck to you on Sunday, and thanks for coming over.
Thanks, Paul, and all the best to everybody. Thanks.
With me here, Padraig O'Shea, secretary of the Crokes Club, postman single, looking for a colleague, I've been told here earlier on. Padraig, being a player on the team and being involved as secretary, does it pose any problems for you?
Not really, Paddy. Our officers, the 6 officers, we have been great over the last 2 weeks, you know, since the semi-final and the lead up to the final, and it's been a great help because it can get fairly hectic, training especially, you know, you'll be out every night 4 nights a week, and as you know, the club still has to go on, and all the business as a club has to be dealt with. So with the help of the officers I have, it's been great. It's been fairly easy, you know. I've been able to concentrate on the football.
How do you think he'll do on Sunday?
I've good hopes. Please God, we'll be hoping that we can play to the best of our ability anyway, and it'll be very hard to beat us if we perform to our best, you know. So that's all we'll be hoping for, really.
Paul, thank you very much. Best luck to you on Sunday. Lee Parker, former great Crokes player. Have you retired now, tell me?
Oh, retired now for a couple of years, but still take keen interest in them, especially the juveniles now, like more than the seniors. Like it's nice to get involved with the underage players and see what is coming up, like, and I give them the benefit of whatever experience I have, really.
Right. Tell me, Nolly, how would you rate this present Crokes side? We'll say going back to compare them with Crokes sides over the years.
I suppose their biggest plus is that they've been together so long. They've been through a lot of disappointments really together. But last year, I suppose, they come together when they did win the Munster Championship, like got to the All-Ireland semi-final, club semi-final. Panel-wise, I don't think they're as strong as the team now. There was even a lot of this team were in a team that were beaten by Kenmare, but panel-wise, I think they had a stronger panel then. But I think the years they've been together now should hopefully will prove their plus on Sunday.
What do you know about Castle Island? Are they a good side?
I haven't seen them play, unfortunately, this year, but talking to all the lads, and they've seen a lot of their games. I know a lot of the older players in Castle Island are right. They bring plenty of experience to it. Of course, Charlie Nelligan is a great plus to them. Eugene Leonard played a great Munster final here against the Kerry fellas, so I believe their backs are strong.
Finally, Nolly, will Crokes win on Sunday?
I'd be hoping so anyway. Any kind of win will do us. 10 points, any kind of win. Once we win on Sunday, it'll be a big plus to the club.
Thank you very much, Nolly. Pat O'Shea, how you feeling about Sunday's game? Do you think he'll do this time?
Well, I suppose third time lucky. Hopefully, anyway. I mean, we're going in with a positive frame of mind. I think it's a little bit changed. The attitude from the players is a bit changed from the last 2 years, because I think it's supposed to maturity and a bit more experience. You know, tends to lead the players to be more positive going in the next night. I think that really is our kind of what we're hoping that will pull us through.
Right. Now, people tell me you're the only fella that's guaranteed his place in this Crokes team that you're engaged with at Tatler. Is that correct, Pat?
It's about the only way, man. All right.
Tell me, are there many of your players that are looking for colleagues that would be still single, Pat?
Oh, I'd say a lot of our fellas are renowned over bachelorhood. I think the fellas that haven't got any women at this stage. So I'd say after Sunday, maybe if we win, then we go looking all right. But I'd say if we lose, no.
They're talking about this German guy in the 40 days. He's a great lad for the Irish lassies. Is that right?
Well, he's kind of going steady at the moment, so I don't know how vacant he is. But I think after Sunday, maybe he might come again if we're successful. If he does well.
You'll be looking forward to a fairly big night on Sunday night in Killarney if all went well, Pat, would you?
Oh yeah, I think it would be a great night in Killarney. I think the people, the supporters are fantastic, and people from the town are well behind us. So I think that if things go well, I think that there will be very, very big celebrations for a long time. Maybe after Tuesday or Wednesday, maybe do think you're going back to work.
Tell me, Pat, you're involved in charge of coaching in Kerry. Would you say the standard of football is improving in Kerry, or is it staying as it is, even Stephen?
Well, very hard to judge, but I think that the kids have a lot of interest, and I think that the GA may have lost its appeal over the last couple of years, but I think it's working its way back through the great games, the All-Ireland final, and maybe Kerry's resurrection now in Munster like that have instilled a little bit of pride and interest in the kids. Like, so I think that it's coming back up again. I think if the kids have the interest, I think that their success and their ability will follow. Like.
And if Crokes win on Sunday, do you think it'd be great for the youth of Killarney as well for the future?
I would think so, yeah. I would think it would be great because, well, I suppose it'd probably be good for all the people that kind of are into teams or whatever, like, because we kind of utilise as much skill as we possibly can, like, and we kind of open things up, like, and we make the skill as much as possible, like, you know, to our advantage.
Tell me, Pat, a final question for you. You've seen the backs that play for Desmond's in action. Will they be tough, you think, on the tough to get around them?
Oh yeah, I think definitely. I think it's going to be a very close game. Two club teams know each other too well, and I think that Desmond's are very, very good. I mean, their backs are very, very tight. They're not going to give away anything, and I think it'll be very close at the end, whichever way. I don't think it's a little bit different with having the divisional side against the club team because we both know each other and we both know each other's styles, so I think it'll be close and tight.
Pat, thank you very much. Good luck to you. And Donny O'Leary, Crokes selector. Donny, how well prepared are you for this final on Sunday?
Well, we've trained very hard, Pod. We prepared all year, really. We're going all year for this thing. It's a long, hard road, but we give it our best shot on Sunday. Hopefully it'll turn out right for us, you know.
The Desmond's team, can you recall when you last played them?
Well, I'd say it was the club championship maybe. I think last year.
How did that go?
We beat them alright that year, but yeah, that doesn't come from nothing. League and club championship doesn't mean anything. County championship is different, and final more, so it's 50-50. It can go anywhere really, and it's on the day how you play, you know. Tell
me, Donny, what kind of a day would you like to have? Would it matter to you? Would you prefer a dry day, or would you prefer it to be maybe wet and windy?
I wouldn't mind about the wet or dry part. I'd be more worried if it's windy, really. If it's calm and mild, I'd prefer it really than the rain. The rain wouldn't bother me.
Can you see it being a tough battle between both midfield sets?
Well, midfield is very important in every game, of course. Our midfielders, our forwards are playing very well at the moment, but they don't play well because the supply balls come into them. We feel we have a good midfield partnership. All year now, we've played Noel Leary and Connie Murphy there, and they played well for us. And saying that, Dermot Hannifin's back and playing very well. And Tommy Roach is doing the business for them too, so it's going to be I think like most games was a hinge really a midfield, but if we get the supply ball, I'm confident we can win, you know.
And you'll be looking forward to taking maybe Monday and Tuesday off?
Oh, we'll take the week off if we win, Pod. There's no problem there.
Okay, Donny, the best luck to you, and thanks a million. So there we have the views from the Crokes camp, and there you have some of the wives and some of the children here watching them, very, very eager. This is their final night before training for this big ball game on Sunday next, and you can see these kids here. Some of these kids may be lining out in years to come, maybe with ladies football in Crokes, or maybe with the juveniles, or maybe with the senior men. Kerry, Tatler, O'Sullivan, Donny O'Leary having final chat. Now the team is supposed to be picked, they'll be announcing it later on. Players are chatting together in little groups and the excitement is building up, but as you can see from this, the profile is being kept much, much lower here in Crokes than previous years. They're straddling into training, some of them are still coming into training, they're kicking around, no great pressure on them, and they feel that possibly the experience of the two previous years may well stand to them at this stage. And our final interview here this evening is with the centre half forward on the Crokes team and hoping to be there again on Sunday next. Roland Nehru, is that right?
Near.
That sounds like a foreign name, is that right?
Yes, my father's German, but I'm Killarney born myself. It's Killarney's the rest of us.
Tell me, when did you make the breakthrough into the senior team and command a regular place, Roland?
This year's really the first year. I mean, soccer was my first priority, normally. And this year I gave football my total commitment. and I was always a back, and this year I just broke into the forward line, and it's just...
Will you do it on Sunday, you think, Roland?
It'll be very tight. I'm pretty confident that we will. I think that Nolan can't be too strong in midfield.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yes.
But the only thing would be, are we physically strong enough in the forward line for the Desmond's backs? That would be my only concern at the moment.
Any fans from Germany coming over to roar you on Sunday?
No, I doubt it somehow. We'll pass them on the video after.
Tell me, will you be nervous on Sunday?
I will be, yeah, definitely.
Any idea who you're marking from the Desmond side?
I have no idea. I don't know the Desmond guys. To be honest with you, Damoline is the only guy I know. He would be the only one. I wouldn't mind marking him.
You'd be able to handle him in midfield if you were on him?
I don't know. I've never seen him playing, but it's good to mark someone who's a good name, like, and inspires you a bit more.
So you'd be hoping to have a great night here in Killarney tonight, Roland, and maybe take the week off?
Oh, that's for sure.
Well done.
My belt, hopefully.
Well done. Best of luck.
Thanks very much.
Oh, there we have our final interview from Killarney this evening on this sunny Thursday evening before the county final. And you've got the views from the Crokes. They're keeping a very low profile indeed. Next, we go out around the county. You will see some faces that you know fairly well. We'll put it to them in short, simple language, how they feel this county final is going to go on Sunday.
Well, the county final has all the ingredients of a great contest next Sunday. It's incredible to think that Crokes, a team that has given so much to Kerry football, haven't won a county final for 80 years, and Desmonds, who have given so much as well, have never won a county championship. A lot will depend on midfield. I think that Crokes will have a slight edge around the middle of the field, but the main confrontation will be between the Desmonds backs and the Crokes forwards. Now, if the Desmonds backs can stick into the Crokes forwards like they have done in their previous games, they'll win the game. Now, it's asking a lot of them, but I think they can do it. On the other hand, if Crokes get the expected supply from midfield, and if they get the leeway from the Desmonds backs, it's Crokes will win.
The game on Sunday, Paddy, I expect a very open game of football. Crokes have been there before. They play a lovely style of football. You know, they play the open spaces very well, and I think Desmonds will have a lot of problems to counter that. Now, Crokes have been there before. They have the experience, and it should stand to them maybe on the day. But having said that, I believe that Desmonds, they've come a long way. They have been through it before. They've won, you know, some of their players have been involved in the All-Ireland Club Championship there that they won, and they know what it is like to win, whereas Crokes, you know, have been there, but they haven't won. Desmonds might have that little advantage on them. If I had to sum it up, as I've said earlier on, if I were a betting man, I think I'd be inclined to put my money on Desmonds to win it.
Yeah, well, a lot of people around the county are predicting a runaway Crokes victory, but I can't really see this happening at the moment. I look at the two teams, particularly the pictures, and knowing some of the lads from both teams. Castleisland are a very big physical team, much bigger now than Dr. Crokes. Dr. Crokes have a lot of flair, a lot of nippy forwards there. So a lot will depend on how the big strong Castleisland backs will be able to contain the Crokes forwards. It's certainly going to be no runaway. I think there's probably going to be nothing in it at the end of the day. It is a county final, 15 against 15, and you know it's going to be a very close game. In the heel of the hunt, I'd probably just go for the Crokes. I feel sorry for them over the last number of years. They've missed out on a few major competitions, but at the same time I'd like to see Charlie Nelligan get his county championship medal, but I think he might have to wait another year.
Well, Paddy, I think this is probably the hardest final of all to call. The two important factors I would see in the match would be whether the Castleisland backs will be able to hold the Crokes forwards. I think the Crokes forward line, I saw them playing against Mitchells, and it was one of the finest displays of forward play I've ever seen. Now, whether the Castleisland backs are capable of holding them, I'm a little doubtful about that. On the other side of the coin, I think that Dermot Hanifin obviously is going to have a big bearing in this game, whether he's back to his brilliant best or not. If he is, I think that will give obviously the Castleisland forwards enough a ball, and they definitely would have the forward power as well to win. So
'tis a hard one to call. Dermot Hannafin's really display is going to have a big bearing in it, but having to nominate one, I'll give it my vote to Crokes to shade it.
I think Paddy were in for one of the best finals in recent years. Two very, very good teams. Two teams who've been probably the two best club teams in the county over the last 3 to 4 or 5 years. I think with 10 minutes to go it'll be anyone's game. I think that midfield will have a crucial bearing in it. If Dermot Hannafin can rule the roost there, it'll be a big advantage to Castle Both teams are well able to play the short game very well, and both teams are very much teams in the sense that they're not depending on an own listing or someone special like that that if he was blotted out they would be less of force. They both have very strong panels as well. I think it'll be a classic. I'd say anyone's game up to the end. If you had to vouch for one, I would say Crokes by a shade at the end, but I think it'll be very tight.
A unique pairing in this county final sees Castle Island Desmonds facing Dr. Crokes. They've never met before in the final. Now in the previous games, Dr. Crokes Killarney, their forwards have scored something like 5 goals and 33 points. And then we had the Desmonds forwards scoring something like 5-21. But the Crokes backs have conceded more than the Castle Island Desmonds backs, something like 20 points more in the 4 games they have played. So for me it's going to come down to the centre field pairing, and here I think that the pairing of Connie Murphy at centre field with Noel O'Leary might have the advantage over Dermot Hannafin and Tommy Brosnan. If this happens, which I think it might over the hour on Sunday, well, I say the Crokes forwards will be led I think again by Pat O'Shea, who moves really all over the place, could decide it. For me too, Ronan Neher on the 40 for Dr. Crokes is a very forceful and strong running forward, and will give the Castle Island Desmonds defence a hard working time. That's not to say that the Desmonds forwards can't be on their day too excellent, but one goes back, I think it all will hinge on the semi-final that we saw Castle Island Desmonds facing St. Kieran's, and they were 2-5 I think ahead to 1 point, and yet St. Kieran's came back to them. But overall I think that the Munster champions Dr. Crokes will have the advantage on next Sunday and get there possibly by a point or two. Their experience in the Munster Championship and their experience in 2 county finals in the last 5 years will tell on Sunday. I'm going for Dr. Crokes by those 2 points.
I think it's going to be very difficult because I think both teams are very even. I saw both semi-finals, and I think on the 2 semi-finals you'd have to fancy Crokes, but Castle Island I think will be very difficult to beat. They've been lucky in a way that they're in the final, and I think their luck could probably hold. But I think if I was a betting man, my money would be on Crokes.
A very difficult one to call, Paddy. I've seen both semi-finals, and I think that down through the years, Crokes, I suppose with the experience in the last few years, losing 2 semi-finals, or at least losing 2 finals, might stand to them on Sunday. Desmonds in their semi-final against Kieran's looked very good for 3/4 of the game, but lapsed in, which we'll say 10 minutes to go, certainly wouldn't do on Sunday. I think, judging on the experience that Crokes have gained in the last few years, I would have to give a hesitant vote to Crokes.
On Sunday, I feel it's going to be a very close game, very difficult to call who's going to come out on top, but I think maybe a couple of factors might be important. For instance, I feel that the Crokes forward line really revolves around Pat O'Shea, and I feel it's going to be crucial for Desmonds to mark him tightly, and I feel, you know, if you really put Pat out of the game, you have a great chance of beating Crokes. I think another aspect of the game will be midfield, and I feel myself that Noel O'Leary has had a great season, and if he keeps up his form and holds Dermot Hannafin, and if he gets on top really in the middle of the field, I feel that'll be another aspect that would favour Crokes. However, I think overall that Desmonds have probably a stronger team physically, and that could be a factor, particularly if the day is reasonably, we say weather-wise, if the day is bad. I think that would favour Desmonds. Another aspect would be, I think that Desmonds haven't won a county final. They're a particularly spirited group of lads, I think, and with the likes of Dave Gainey on the line, I think they're quite shrewd as well. Now, to sum it up, I would, by a fraction, I think, I would give the call to Desmonds. I think that would be my opinion but just by a point.
So here we are in Tralee. The day has at long last arrived, and you've just seen there what some well-known faces have had to say before this, and indeed the most of those people are going for Crokes. Well, with me today here in Tralee will be the panellists. With me today will be John Fenton Daly, the trainer of the Duhallow team, who was with me before here back the number of years. His team, of course, are playing in the county final up in Cork in 2 weeks' time, and what better man to have today, because his team has played against both Crokes and Desmond in the build-up to this. John, what kind of a game are you expecting with the conditions we have here today?
Well, I would say the conditions aren't what I'd like them to be, really. We've had very good weather up to very recently, and there's a marked touch of winter about today, I think. I wouldn't mind the rain so much, but we have a strong wind blowing more or less here from left to right down the field, and I suppose really that's not going to help either team. It's going to make, as we all know, a strong wind, a gusty wind can be very difficult for forwards in particular.
Putting you on the spot, John, who do you think is going to win this game?
Well, if you would ask me, say 2 months ago, at the time that Crokes had beaten West Kerry in a replay and had drawn in Dingle, which would be very difficult for assignment for any team, I would have said at that stage that Crokes were the obvious team to come out this year. But since then, Desmond seem to have improved a great deal over a short period of time. They beat South Kerry down their own place, and they beat St. Kieran's, who were playing pretty well. So, you know, I find it very difficult to decide. The one thing that would make me favour Crokes slightly would be their experience of losing 2 county finals in recent years, and from being involved with Duhallow myself, I know how important and how crucial that is to players in their approach to a game and the experience of actually playing in a county final.
So that's who we leave it with John for the moment. We'll have John right throughout the game, and we're going to try and meet now before the start of this game with 1 or 2 of the players to see how they're feeling before the game. Before we meet some of those players, we have here with us the chairman of the Kerry County Board, Sean Kelly from Killarney. Sean, you would have had a lot of these Crokes fellas at school in the sim, wouldn't you?
Yes, I had about 12 of them, and obviously you would obviously be very much in favour, I suppose, of your own past pupils, but I have a couple too on the Desmond's team, so either way I suppose I'll be happy. I have to be neutral anyway today. Most importantly though is that we have a very good game of football, and that people would say that the standard football was on the up in Kerry. In keeping with the surroundings we've here today, I think it's fantastic. We have the new stand in operation to capacity for the first time, and the terrace across the way, so I must say I'm very proud as county chairman, and the one thing I'm looking forward to, no matter who wins, is a very good game of football which will do justice to Kerry and the people of Kerry.
Thank you very much. So we are almost set now. It's 3:15. The Crokes team are out in the field. Here they come out in the field very, very fast indeed at 3:15. We failed to get any interviews with them or with any of the players because there was too much excitement over there, but we can't blame them. There you see them coming out into the field. The raging hot favourites for today's county final. They're 8-11 now with the bookies in Killarney, and they must indeed be on the basis of their 2 previous county finals. They contested the 87 county final, they contested the 1988 county final. And a little quiz for you, the viewers, as you're watching this now. How many of you can name those 2 Crokes teams that took the field in 87 and 88? Well, you think about that, and we'll come back to you very shortly with the announcing of those teams. The Desmond, the Crokes team are kicking about there, and as they do so, we'll give you the way they're lining out. In goals, Peter O'Brien. Full back line, John Clifford, Liam Hartnett and Sean Clark. The half forward line, Padraig O'Shea, John Gallivan and Colm O'Shea. Midfield, Noel O'Leary and Connie Murphy. Half forward line, Connie Doherty, Roland Neher and Shawnee O'Shea. Number 13, Pat O'Shea, Vince Casey and Jor O'Shea. That brings up their first 15. The Desmond's team are just coming out on the field at exactly 3 minutes, or 3:16 should I say, and led by their team captain Eugene Lenner. The Desmonds come here today as even money, 11-10. They've never won a county championship title. The club was first formed way back in 1951. The last time they won a county championship was involved with the district in 1950. That is exactly 41 years ago. They are bidding for their first ever title as a club. They come here as All-Ireland champions from 1985, and remember, All-Ireland club champions, and remember that today also Dr. Crokes are putting on the line their Munster Club Championship title, because today the winners of this game will go into the Munster Club Championship. It is the 3rd all-club final since 1963. Back in 1963 we had an all-club final between Mitchells and Kenzerahallies In 1989 we had Lone Rangers and John Mitchells, and this year we have Desmonds and Dr. Crooks. Over the years it's been almost all divisional sides who've contested the county final. There may have been one club, but it has nearly always been one divisional side. So indeed a very unique occasion for both these sides today. There we see young Desmond Mentors coming across, young girls clad in the jerseys. We have the two young Carneys and we have young Ann Curtin, and we of course have the team mascot out in the middle of the field there, the small lad. There you see him, young David Carney, the son of the centre half forward Christy Carney. Well, the Desmonds team are lining out as follows. In goals, Charlie Nelligan, 34-year-old Charlie. Our full back line, Kevin McMahon wearing number 2, number 3 Tommy Horton, and number 4 Conor Geaney. Number 5 the captain Eugene Leonard. Number 6 Dom O'Line and number 7 Denny Lines. Midfield wearing number 8 Dermot Hannafin and number 9 Tommy Roach. The half forward line, Martin Downey, Christy Carney and young Shane Curtin, the youngest member on the field. Full forward line, Tom Brosnan, Donny Buckley and Donald Murphy, and their team are trained by Donald Duke O'Connor. The manager is Dr. Dave Geaney, and the selectors Billy Lyons and Jimmy Graney. You're looking at two of the men behind the Crokes, Eddie Tactor O'Sullivan, who has given years of service at Dr. Crokes as a trainer and selector, and Donny O'Leary, who has given years of service as a player, now the selector. He was also a former trainer, and he will be hoping for third time lucky for Crokes today. Crokes are kicking about there, and as they do so, we can tell you that 18 teams started in this year's 1991 Senior County Championship campaign. Killarney Crokes were the first team in County Kerry to record the championship treble, winning back in 1912, 1913 and 1914. In 1912 they beat Tralee Parnells 1-6 to no score. In 1913 they beat Kilcommon 3-1 to 1 goal, and in 1914 they beat Tralee Mitchells 1-2 to 1 goal. So today they also won in 1901. Today they're bidding for their 5th title, and the bookies are making them very, very hot favourites. In 1983 Killarney won the county championship title. On that particular occasion Killarney Crokes had 10 of the winning 83 team. They had Mikey Doody, Brendan Keogh, Liam Hartnett, Johnny Clifford, Mike Buckley, John and Josie O'Donoghue, Pa O'Donoghue, Mike Grady and Colin Gallivan. And of course some of those are still surviving for today's championship. Now there we have the toss. Maurice O'Sullivan, the referee for today's game, the man who was linesman last Sunday. Crokes have won the toss, and Crokes are playing with the wind. Their captain Shawnee O'Shea has got the toss there over Eugene Leonard, and they're playing with a strong wind in this the first half. Man coming across the field here, I wonder how did he sleep last night. This is Mike Neeson, the man who was chairman with the Crokes Club for a good number of years, was there when they were beaten in those 2 finals, and of course was there when they won the Munster Club Championship. One wonders how he'll stick out this game today. Your referee for today's game, Maurice O'Sullivan of Ballyhigh, has been refereeing since 1983. He refereed a senior hurling county final in 88 and 90, minor hurling final in 84, a junior hurling final in 88, a minor football final in 85 and 87, under 21 football county final in 86, senior club football final in 89, a junior final in 1990. He's also refereed many Borden Oak finals, and was only last Sunday a linesman up in Croke Park for the football final. He received Best Young Referee award in Munster for 1988. He held a position as Secretary of Borden Oak Kerry from 86 to 90, PRO of Borden Oak Kerry from 86 to 87, Secretary of Borden Bork 85 to 87, and many, many others, but a very, very experienced referee indeed. So there we have both teams being led, and there we have Eugene Leonard being led, leading around the Cast Island Desmonds team, and the mascot on his right hand side, the son of Christy Carney, Shawnee O'Shea, leading the Dr. Crokes team in this usual match parade. Now we see the players behind, now we move back along the line, and there you see them bit by bit, slowly but surely. And there they are. I'm sure many of these players were suffering from nerves last night. Many mightn't have stepped right. I'm sure very few had a full breakfast this morning. Many had to go to the toilet beforehand, I'm sure. But after this game, it will be the end of the road for a lot of players, because Crokes have been already beaten in 2 county finals. Cast Island and Desmonds, well, have been trying for a long, long time, and they will surely see this as being one of the greatest chances they will have had in a long time. And Desmonds having their last huddle here in front of us, a bit of a pep talk, and Dr. Crokes meanwhile down here on the left. This is the now familiar scene on footballing pitches throughout the country in the last couple of years. The last number of words coming from the captain, coming from the trainer. They're huddled in a bunch. The spirit is mighty in this Crokes camp, so too is it in the Desmonds camp. The stage is now set for the 1991 Senior County Final. 2 clubs coming together the first time, or the third time since 1963, we with an all-club final. Referee Maurice O'Sullivan looking at his watch. The players, I'm sure, very, very anxious. The ball is in and the game is on. And will it be very important, John Fenton Daly, that either side gets a few scores in this early half?
It will of course be very important, and we had the age-old problem here. I noticed Sean O'Shea of Crokes elected to play with the wind, which I was a little bit surprised at, because my experience is that teams take, say, 10 minutes, quarter of an hour to settle down. It'll be very interesting to see if Crokes can settle down early and gain full advantage, because they will have to put up scores in this first half with that very strong wind that's blowing.
And we see at the moment, actually, there's a Desmond player injured down here in front of us, and let's hope it's not too serious. It seems to be Tom Brosnan, seems to have difficulty with his leg as we zoom in the play there, and Dr. Dave Gainey is in there. Having a look at him, he's clouded off at the moment in your picture, but he seems to have gone over on his knee. Let's hope it's not too serious. Focus is way off. Okay. And so, for the free kick. So Tom Brosnan goes back into position. There's free kick to be taken here by Martin Downey, looking for the first goal against the wind, but a very, very poor effort indeed by Martin. Out to the right and harmlessly wide, and there you can see the blue flags behind the goals. This kick out will be taken by Peter O'Brien, the 22-year-old factory supervisor from Killarney, who says his favourite player is Ray Clements. Back he stands, Peter, who's understudy to Charlie Ligon in the Kerry goals. Up he comes, a great kick from Peter O'Brien. Out to the middle of the field, the fight grabbed by Hannafin, Dermot Hannafin, whose father played in the 1950 county final in the exact same position. Christy Carney driving forward. This man formerly from Ballydesmond, now working in Cork, playing with Castleisland Desmond, overcarries the ball, and referee awards a free out to Knockrokeig. Knockrokeig were here in 87 and 88. And remember I asked you earlier, how many of you could name that Crokes team of 87 and 88? Well, you can think about it for a while longer as you watch this, and we'll tell you very, very shortly. How many of you can name the Castleisland team that contested the 79 county final? Be thinking about it as you watch this, and we'll tell you about it later. The kick out to be taken again by Peter O'Brien. A good drive down the field with the wind behind him. The wind has died a little bit now as the ball comes down the field. Crokes on the attack, driven forward. But O'Line driving forward, fouled by the Crokes number 11, Roland Neher. Parental father from Germany, Ronald, who's a trainee student accountant. He's 24 years of age. He's 5'11". O'Line. Well, O'Line this time actually was in the US of A in Chicago. He's here this evening on September 22nd. He drives a good probing ball into the danger zone, but grabbing it nicely in there is Colm O'Shea. Colm O'Shea played in the two last county finals. He played between the sticks. Colm, of course, is a brother of Padraig, who plays at wing back on the other side. Referee Morris O'Sullivan warding the free up again to be taken. John, the wind seems to be coming and going, but favouring Crokes in this, the first half.
Well, definitely favouring Crokes, and like I said, they've yet to settle. They would want to get scores fairly soon. There is a tendency to get very excited when you have the wind behind you and not be able to settle into your game. So they're going to have to do that. I think Desmond have actually started better. They're slowing the game up and they're laying the ball out from the fence nice and slow.
Christy Carney, oh, well played by Christy Carney, the maestro on this team. This man could have a big part to play if Desmond had to win this game today. The time, only 3.5 minutes gone. We're still waiting for the first score. This ball is grabbed by the Crokes number 15, Ger O'Shea. Back to Noel O'Leary. Noel O'Leary grabbed by young Conor Gainey. His father is a team manager. His mother is across in the stand. His sister, they'll be excited. Tommy Roach drives it down. He's fouled as he does so to Donny Buckley. Lucky, and this free will be taken from where the ball lands, to be taken by Martin Downey. Well, when Castleisland District last played in the 1950 county final, well, that was a replay against Killarney. On that particular occasion, well, you had 3 links with today's side. Dermot Hannafin's father played, Willie Lyons played, his son is playing at wing back today, and Tygeen Fendival played, his grandson is on the subs today. Shane Cotton, the youngest player on this Desmond side, now driving forward, being well harassed but being fouled by John Clifford, and referees awarding a free into Desmond. John Clifford captained the Crokes side of 87 and 88, and he was the cause of that foul, and young Tom Brosnan being called over to take this free kick. Tom, who scored some great scores for Desmond earlier on in the year and has been playing great football since his arrival on their scene. Back he stands now, the wind is blowing into his face. It is indeed a very, very difficult kick. One wonders, how will he do it? Let's wait and see. A good kick from Tom, and a very, very important score for Desmond, coming after exactly 4 minutes and 48 seconds of play. There he is, young Tom Brosnan, the man from Cordell, now playing in Castleisland and making a marvellous contribution to the Desmond's team so far in 1991. This kick out to be taken by Peter O'Brien. Padder O'Brien, who's won numerous honours playing soccer also. The sun trying to come through the clouds now bit by bit. Nicely grabbed by Noel O'Leary, this man who works with the border works in Killarney. Back to John Gallivan, 25-year-old John, but nicely grabbed down here by Tommy Horton, and Tommy Horton out towards another Tommy Roach, and Tommy fetches majestically over the head of Connie Murphy, and Tommy drives down the sideline, over the sideline, and it will be a sideline ball. So far at midfield, how would you say the situation, John?
Well, it's more or less even Stephen there. Dermot Henderson has collected one very good ball. I see Nola Leary has collected one. There's no great advantage. But I would say at the moment that the Desmond's half-back line are doing extremely well down the line, and I see him going for another ball there, and number 5 have both done very well. They've cleared their lines, and no good ball has gone into the Crossfield foul line as yet, even though they have the wind behind them.
Donny Buckley now coming forward. Eugene Leonard, the captain, flicking it back to Damo Line, the son of Tiggy, and Damo Line driving forward. Tiggy Line played for Killarney in 1950 county final. Tiggy Line from Killarney. Denny Lyons driving forward. His son, his daddy, Willie, played corner forward in the 1950 team. Denny onto his right foot, fisting it back to Martin Downey, the farmer come butcher. And Downey kicks a majestic point over the bar. Desmond's going to a 2-point lead. That score coming from young Downey. 6 minutes and 19 seconds into the first half. On this Desmond side at the moment, we have 10 bachelors. The Croke side have a number of bachelors as well, but tonight will tell a lot. This kick out to be taken by Peter O'Brien. This county title will be going to 2 clubs who will be thoroughly deserving of it. If Croke win it, well, it'll be 3rd time lucky. If Desmond win it, it'll be the first time in their history. The club was formed back in 1951. And here we have grabbing the ball now, number 12, Shawnee Shea, the captain, the young Cat Pinter, putting them on the attack. They're looking for the first score into Vincey Casey. Vincey Casey driving across towards Pat O'Shea, the danger man. And Pat O'Shea, 25-year-old Pat, 5'8". Pat over on the far side, being harassed by Conor Gainey, fist passing it back out, and Croke's now bidding for the first score here. The ball is fisted across, a chance of a score here. The ball is broken down, pulled down in there, but referee Morris O'Sullivan is awarding a free in, and if there's a glare in your picture, well, there's a very, very strong sun coming out now. We were hoping that from a picture point of view, the sun would not be as glaring, but that's the way it goes. A free in for Croke's here, a player down injured, and this will be the chance of the first score for Croke's. Time gone in the game, 7 minutes, 18 seconds. Porrigo shays up again, and happily he's okay from the injury. This free kick is about between the 14 and 21. Up he comes, the kick looks to be straight. Up goes Charlie, not high enough, and Pat Shea gets the first score for the Croke. A very important score from their point of view. 8 minutes and 18 seconds gone, and the first score coming for Dr. Croke's as Charlie Nelligan begins to gather. Charlie Nelligan, of course, has been playing championship football since 1974 at the age of 17 years. And in that time he has won an All-Ireland minor medal in 1975. Since then he won under 21 medals in 75, 76 and 77, and he's also won 7 senior All-Ireland championship medals. Up he comes and kicks out. His biggest dream, he told me during the week, would be to win a county championship title and go on to captain Kerry. The ball comes out to the middle of the field. Croke's coming on the attack again now, and we have Pat Shea coming way out the field now. A man gone and tried through here, rolling near, left completely through, but Eugene Leonard brings him to the ground, and this will be the chance. Damo Line was away from his man there, completely ball watching, and referee now is awarding a free in here to Dr. Croke's for a foul by the Desmond's team captain Eugene Leonard on the young German Roland Neher, born in Killarney, and the 24-year-old made a dashing run there, got lots of space, and this free kick to be taken again by Pat O'Shea, the corner forward, the brother of course of Shawnee O'Shea, first cousin of Collins and Padraig, and the sides are level after 9 minutes and 30 seconds of this, the first half. Out comes Charlie once again. Oh, a great kick into a very strong wind out towards young Downey. Nicely grabbed by Martin, and Martin Downey forward. Referee says play on. The ball into the hands of Colm O'Shea. Colm O'Shea inside to George Shea into Vincey Casey. Vincey Casey going for the 3rd point, and Vincey Casey getting a marvellous point. 3 points to 2. That score coming after 10 minutes and 10 seconds. Good movement there. Ball lost first by Martin Downey, and a good chance to put it over the bar, and that's what happened indeed by Vincey Casey, the 24-year-old insurance broker working with Brian Liver. Makes no mistake about it as Charlie comes out once again. A few very important scores there for Croke's, John Fenton Daly.
Yeah, definitely, and there's no doubt about it, but if the Desmond's defence doesn't knock tighter, Croke's are very good in the shot ball, they're very good to break from their men. Desmond's will have to defend very stoutly, or scores are going to go up there very quickly by Croke's if they're going to get enough ball into the forwards.
So Desmond, from having been 2 points in front, now trailed by 1 point. 3 points to 2, the win comes and goes, but still it favours Croke. Vincey Casey coming out the field, playing it out to number 10, Connie Doherty. Connie Doherty playing it inside. And the man on it now is Roland Nehar. And Nehar driving forward. Still, this danger man is still going into a danger position. He's going to go. He's pushed over the line here. Out over the line. And referee, it looked to be a push, but referee is awarding a free, or saying the ball went wide. Definitely a hand on the shoulder, but referee says that not so. And he's awarding a kick out again to Desmonds to be taken by Charlie Nelligan. 11 minutes and 16 seconds gone. Crokes would need to be ahead by a good few points at half time, John, in order to be happy, would you think?
Yeah, although I feel at the moment that they're definitely on top. I think Damo Line is going to have to concentrate more on his man. Nehar is very good if he's allowed any room. And surprisingly, actually, Vince Casey, the full forward, who I understand wasn't in the original selection, is playing quite well and is very good to come out and collect possession and lay it off. So I see here that they're on the attack again. They're working the ball very well, and I think they will get scores. They have to look
as he speaks again, it looks like another score now going out to the right and gone wide, but a lot of room being given to the Crokes forwards in there. Charlie comes out now once again with a high ball into the wind, his side trail by 3 points to 2. Hannafin grabs it but loses it again. Hannafin is pushed as he does so, and referee Morris O'Sullivan, the man from Ballyhigh, awarding a free upfield, but it is sent there by one of the O'Sheas, and he's awarding the free further up the field. Eugene Leonard, the team captain, while the man who began to play his club football in Limerick with Mona Lean, plays on the Limerick senior inter-county team. Trying to put Desmonds on the attack again, fisted down by Buckley, down to Carney, Christy Carney, the man who won the National League medal with Cork back in 1980, back out to Martin Downey. Downey tries the floor, he's cutting across, trying to go inside. He's not sure where he's going now, passes it back to Tommy Roach. Tommy Roach, a poor effort by Tommy Roach there. Very short passing now. And the man on the ball is Roland Nehar. Nehar on the 40 for Cork, trying to get a score now for them again. Holding the ball nicely. This man, they tell me, was very well spoken of in training during the week. The ball driven in between Conor Gainey and Young Shea, but well broken down by Gainey. Gainey across to Young McMahon. McMahon to Denny Lyons, the broker. Denny Lyons across to Tommy Roach, who's now across on the far side of the field. And Tommy Roach driving downfield, down towards the full forward line. Referee allowing the advantage to play on here. Hannafin on the ball now. His father over on the stand. Won the medal in 1950. Ball to Carney. Christy Carney now working in Cork. Playing tough about Desmond for a good number of years. Back to Hannafin. A good ball by Hannafin across to Eugene Leonard. Eugene Leonard now driving forward. The team captain leading by example into Buckley. Buckley kicks the high ball. Doesn't even look where he kicks it. Out to the left and harmlessly wide. Out again now by Peter O'Brien. High into the sky, time gone in the game, 40 minutes and 5 seconds, 3 points to 2 in favour of Nakrokig. Ball going out towards the side, now grabbed over there by Donny Buckley, and Buckley putting his heart and soul into it today. Played back out to Young Shane Cotton. Young Shane Cotton was pushed according to referee, and it will be a free. And as you can see from the stand over, we look into the stand, quite a large crowd in the stand over there. Hard to estimate the crowd here today, but conditions ideal for football, except for that very strong wind. Showers of rain came here earlier, but they've cleared away, the sun coming out now and again. But at the moment it's a free up field for Desmonds. Kicked by Damo Line into the danger zone, grabbed by Donny Buckley. Donny Buckley deciding to go himself. He's cutting inside. Donny Buckley losing the ball, and well grabbed in there by Sean Clark. And Sean Clark loses the ball again. Donny Buckley's on the ground. Sean Clark going back for it. Sean Clark who's married to a Cast Island girl. And Sean Clark fisting it back. And away come the Nakrokig again in the form of young John Gallivan. And John Gallivan driving downfield, but the man coming to collect it is Tommy Roach. Tommy Roach slipping in the ground, fist passing it inside to Damo Line. Damo Line loves to attack. Line going upfield now, ball in his right leg. He's going to the pot for a point. The kick looks to be good. A great score from young Line, the son of the famous young Tiggy Line. And Damo himself, the man who came back from the US of A, was in the Kerry team panel earlier and scores a marvellous point, coming exactly 15.5 minutes into the first half. Peter O'Brien coming out, a very vital score there, John.
A very good score at a vital time. I see Hannafin after collecting this latest ball here again, and you know, it's a ding-dong sort of a game. They're working upfield, they're doing well, Desmonds, when they attack, but I have a feeling at the moment that Crokes, if they can get the game together, they're very dangerous up forward, and they'll swing the ball around very well, and they're well capable of taking their scores.
Ball going into the danger zone again, going back for it now, collecting it is Conor Gainey, the son of Dr. Dave. Out to Denny Lyons, back to Young Gainey again. Young Gainey up the sideline. Out over the sideline, it will be a sideline ball for Nakrokig. So far in this present championship campaign, Dr. Crokes have scored 5 goals and 51 points. Oh, a dangerous ball into Charlie, and Charlie being harassed, coming out, but being well harassed by the backs in there, and in the finish had to kick to safety, but the referee says play on, that he wasn't fouled, out over the sideline, and it's going to be a sideline ball for McCroke, and the man who's coming down to take it looks to be the Crokes number 12, Shawnee O'Shea, who's the captain, the 27-year-old carpenter. How he'd love to climb that new rostrum this evening to be the first captain of a senior team to collect the cup in that particular rostrum. Oh, well blocked down by Damo Line, up he comes up the field, the score, the last point, playing with marvellous spirit, fist passes it back to the man who's there, is Nolan Leary, but back to help out there is Martin Downey, young Downey, the young rancher from Glounteraune. He's also a qualified butcher. Downey driving forward, doing a line with the Gelman Scatterton, a strong one, they tell me. He's still driving forward, he's going in for a score now, will he get it? Oh, nicely tackled by the number 7, fouled by the Crokes number 7, Colm O'Shea, and the young rancher is brought to the ground, and this will be a free up here for Desmond's. Donald Murphy coming to the sideline. He's complaining of an injury down here underneath us. He's coming off the team, and Donald Murphy is coming off the Desmond's team. His leg, who was giving trouble all week, has now put an end to his ambitions of playing in the county final. We stay with the action, but we can tell you that in a moment Willie Dom O'Connor will be in the game for Castleisland Desmond's, one of the most lethal forwards they've had over the years. Many were surprised he didn't make the first 15 today. He's going to make it, and he'll make his entrance after this kick will be taken. Young Donald Murphy. Yes, there we have Dave Gainey handing over now, and any minute he'll be coming into the field. Yes, he's running onto the field now, and yes, indeed, the crowd give him applause, and Donald Murphy gets big applause as he goes off. Willie Dom O'Connor coming onto the field as this free kick will be taken by Tom Brosnan. 3 points apiece. 18 minutes into this first half as Willie Dom O'Connor comes on the field. Tom Brosnan comes up to take the kick. The kick from Tom is a beauty from Tom Brosnan. His side leads again. 18 minutes and 20 seconds of vital score, John Fenton.
Yes, actually, Tom Brosnan there against a very strong wind on 2 occasions, kicked 2 frees with 100% return, and they're vital scores because that's a strong wind that's out there. He's done very well, and he's given them a 1 point advantage midway through the first half. This is what I was speaking about earlier. Crokes would really want to put up some sort of an advantage in half time, but they're basically not getting enough possession, and any possession Desmond's get, they're using to maximum advantage.
So that's what the time ticking and ticking. 4 points to 3. Crokes playing with a gale force wind, and in the minor game beforehand, Shannon Rangers led at half time, playing with a gale force wind, and they went on to win. They wore blue and white. Will it be an omen? Time alone will tell, but Knockroke, remember, have the experience, and they're a side who are always battling, and this man is completely on his own. Young Colm O'Shea, the 23-year-old bank official with AIB here in Tralee, the sponsors, into young O'Shea. He's right through, a chance of a goal here for Neher. A great chance for Neher. He's gone right through, a penalty. Referee Morris O'Sullivan going in. He's awarding a spotter, and there's action in the goals in there. He's gone in to try and clamp it down. You can see it happening. He might very well hop the ball. A lot of action in there. There's a lot of flaking going on in there, but referee had awarded a penalty for Crokes. Neher was brought to the ground, at least referee says so, and he looked to be on the way for a goal, and he is on the ground at the moment. Let's hope it's not too serious, but referee Morris O'Sullivan going back to the umpire to see what the action is and to see what's causing it. A man is down injured. We'll have to wait and see what happens, and there's still action out here in front of the goal, and to your right of the cameraman, a bit of action still going on there, but the referee now going in to see what's happening. It looks to be Liam Hartnett taking the penalty. Liam Hartnett, the full-back, taking the penalty. Charlie dives. A great goal for Crokes. Scored by Hartnett, a vital score. Coming after 21 minutes of the first half. A great move involving Neher early on. Neher brought down, gone right through, would probably have scored, but Liam Hartnett kicked a superb point, came all the way from full-back up the field and sent it into the back of the net, and now Crokes lead by 3 to 4 points. Very well struck penalty indeed. And back with the action again. The wind is stronger than ever. Desmond must try and rattle back from this now, but Crokes, a great forward move there that led to that penalty, because if Neher hadn't been brought down, the goal would have been rattled at any rate. Leonard now standing back, the captain who played with Limerick in this year's Munster final in Killarney, trying to get Desmond back on the attack again. A drive into the wind. Up goes Willie Dom O'Connor for a push in the back. Referee sees that push by John Clifford, and it's going to be a free upfield. Willie Dom will leave it to Martin Downey. Both these fellas are left-legged kickers of the ball. Downey now trying to calm the situation again. 22 minutes gone. Wind blowing very, very strong. Desmond's trail 3 to 4 points. Crokes leading by 2 points. Crooksman down on the ground, and they seem to go over his ankle. Christy Carney grabs the ball. He's turning onto his right foot. This man is a danger man. Fist passing it back to Willie Dom O'Connor. Willie Dom tries for a point, a great floating ball into the danger zone. Grabbed inside there. Oh, nicely grabbed in there by Tom Brosnan, turning onto his right foot, brought to the ground as he does so, and referees awarding a free in. Meanwhile, there's a Crokes player down injured. A free in here to Desmond's. A Crokes player down injured here now right. He seems to be in trouble. He was going for the ball there with a Desmond's player and seems to be in trouble. Not sure who he is, but let's hope that it's not too serious. Referee is booking one of the Desmond's men there. It looks to be Willie Dom O'Connor is going into the book. I'm not sure what happened, but you'll have seen it on the camera anyway. And he's awarding, I think he's awarding a free out actually, I'm not so sure, or else he's telling the men to go off the field. He's awarding, yes indeed, he's awarding a free out from what was an advantage to Desmond's. He's now awarding a free out here right in front of us, so the free in for Desmond's is not being allowed. Well, that's what linesmen are there for, and the linesman spotted what happened, but a very, very unusual decision to give the free out here. And the play goes on. We make it exactly 23 minutes and 50 seconds gone. The scoreboard reads 1-3 for Crokes, 4 points for Desmond's. Up they go for Hannafin, goes up high. Ball broken down, grabbed by Noel O'Leary. A powerful drive by O'Leary. This will be a vital ball here. Conor Ganey coming for it. Foul as he does so. Tommy Horton, rather, the young miller from Horton's Mills in Castleisland, coming for it, saying he's going to leave it on the ground. The sun comes out once again. This will be taken by Dom O'Line. Dom O'Line works with Rhino Mills in Castleisland, and before that he was an American. Before that again he worked with Noel Brown and Brown's Cast Stores, and the son of Tiggy comes up to kick this one with 24.5 minutes gone. A good kick into the wind. Hands will go up for this, reaching for it. Noel O'Leary breaks it down. Hannafin goes for it, loses it again. The ball is pulled in the ground in there with a cool, calm Crokesman grabs it nicely and plays it out the field to where Crokes come on the attack again, down towards Kevin McMahon. Tommy Roche will get this one, I would think. Roche goes back, judges it nicely, turning onto his right foot, being harassed by Connie Doherty, being fouled by Connie Doherty or by Connie Murphy. Quickly taken to Hannafin. Hannafin will fist it into the line. Line's going on his movement here, looking for Hannafin, not sure what to do. He loses the ball again. He goes back for his pull as he does so, and referee awards a free in. A free in for Desmond's. Dom O'Line coming forward again to try and take this one. The wind is very strong. Desmond's, I'm sure, would be happy enough to be just behind by 2 points at half-time. John, with that sort of a win, would you think, or is the wind having a bearing on the game?
The wind is definitely having a bearing on the game. Crokes are fortunate, I suppose, really to take maximum advantage from that penalty incident to keep them up. But Desmond's are still well in this game, and I think they'll be quite happy to leave them down 2 at half-time, having a win like that for the full second half.
And a foul here on Shane Curtin, who played that ball very, very well indeed. He held on to it well, this young, inexperienced player. He's a former Kerry minor, and he's only 19 years of age. He's a student. He's 5'11", the son of the famous John, the Greyhound John. And this will be taken again by Tom Brosnan. Tom Brosnan now, the man who has already put his name on the scoreboard with some very good free kicks. This to bring his side back to within 1 point of Crokes again, kicking into a very strong wind. But this man has made his name over the years as being a very, very good free taker. Would he keep it up? This kick is just about over. It counts indeed, coming after 26 minutes of play. 1-3 to 5 points. Here O'Brien steps forward again. He has stepped forward on 5 occasions. Charlie has stepped forward on 4 occasions from scoring point of view. Crokes come on the attack again. When they come, they're dangerous. Look at Neher has made a run through again on his own, and Conor Ganey has been left for dead there. A man gone right through inside here, a chance of a score. Another point coming up here for Crokes. Yes, indeed, a great point by young O'Shea. Oh, coming from nothing, down the field, bang, over the bar, and Crokes lead by 2 points again. That young man, Pat O'Shea, 25-year-old Pat, turning nicely and kicking over the bar. The scoreboard now reads 1-4 to 5 points. And the 34-year-old Baker with chops in Tralee, Killarney and Castleisland comes to kick out again. Out to the middle of the field, the ball comes. Well grabbed by Hannafin coming into the game now again. He's driving forward here. He'll try a long ball. He's going on his own. And he's still driving forward. A good fist pass in to the middle to young Tommy Rhodes. Back out again to Hannafin. Hannafin into Martin Downey. Martin Downey does a little bit of a jig before he goes for the point. And Downey's jig works because Downey has kicked it out to the right and wide. A good effort by Downey. The score board won't count it, however, because it's gone wide. And again. Quick kick out there taken by the Crokes. Christy Carney grabbing it out here and kicking it down towards the sideline, heading for the sideline. We make it 28 minutes just gone in the first half. 1-4, 7 points for Crokig, 5 points for Castleisle and Desmonds, and another score now before half-time. Crokes would appreciate it, so too would Desmonds. Hannafin fisting it forward. He thought towards Willie Dom O'Connor, direction was misfired, and the Scud missile went astray. Ball down to Leonard fisting it down to line, and Domo grabbing it nicely. He's going to go on a run here, up the feet he goes. This young fella is super fit. He's driving forward. He had a place Dan Lucy. He was unfit for the semi-final. As he goes forward, he loses the ball. Referee says fairly so, and Crokes come on the attack again now. They have an extra man gone forward here because Damoline has not gone back yet. Neher is free, running into position with the ball coming back towards Conor Geaney. Conor Geaney judging it nicely, fisting a beautiful ball out to Leonard, and Eugene Leonard, the guard from Limerick, based in Castleisle. Tommy Roach down towards Connie Doherty, down to Johnny Buckley. Christy Carney's gone through, and Carney, the former Cork star, now playing club football with Desmonds, winner of a club medal in '85, All-Ireland club medal. Back to Donny Buckley. Donny Buckley steadies up. Donny Buckley drives, and Donny Buckley kicks a very, very poor effort again. That was a very, very vital chance gone a begging there. 2 good kickable points gone wide there, and would have been very vital scores indeed, and maybe they'll come before this game is over. 29 minutes and 13 seconds gone as time is ticking and ticking, but I'm sure referee will allow for a few minutes of injury time. There's a train coming in here behind us. They're a bit late for the game, but the kick out will be taken by Peter O'Brien, and Peter O'Brien out to the middle of the field. Up they go for it. Hannafin reaches high but breaks it down and catches it again. Buckley's going to run inside. Will Hannafin pass ahead? He doesn't. He leaves it on to young Curtin. Curtin sees Buckley inside. Buckley catches it. Going to go for Hannafin. Hannafin grabs it again. Hannafin will go for the point. He gives it to Curtin. Curtin will surely go for the point. Curtin will go on to his left leg, and Shane kicks high into O'Brien. It's flicked inside there. It's a goal! What the umpire says in the square. Quickly decided, and the flags will be across there. That goal coming after 29 minutes and 53 seconds. It will not count, however, but very, very dangerous ball. Should have been a point by Desmond because there was chances to kick it over the bar. The score won't count. The kick out is taken by Peter O'Brien to the middle of the field. Up goes Carney again. Desmond's playing well now into Hannafin. They're trying to get a point before half time. Hannafin surely will pass it to Curtin. He goes for the point. He says, I'll have a cut myself. And that's 3 kickable chances. Shane Curtin disappointed. He was free inside, and a kick out again for Crokes. Kick out again by Peter O'Brien out to the middle of the field. Connie Murphy is very quiet in midfield at the moment to John Finton.
Yeah, I was just saying that. I mentioned he's going to be fully fit because he really isn't in the game. Hannafin is the major influence in this match so far. And Hannafin is the man that's keeping Desmonds in it because he's winning possession from the kick outs. And even though the wind is against him, he's holding the ball up in the Crokes half of the field. And he's having a very steady influence on Desmonds. He's laying the ball off and he's taking a return pass. And outside of that, that's the main thing I think that's keeping Desmonds there. Crokes fouls are well capable of scoring, but they're just being starved with the ball.
And as we speak of that, they're on it again. A great defensive work in there by Desmond's players. And Diddy Lyons brings it forward again, out to the side to young McMahon. And Brian McMahon, who's employed by Charlie as another baker, out to the centre of the field towards young Shane Curtin, down the middle. The next score will be vital. The time gone, 31.5 minutes gone. Neher back to Hartnett, and Hartnett, the unpost employee, drives forward. As he does so, referee says play on. Nelligan will come out and collect this one, and Charlie comes out, flicks it out, and as he does so, half time, referee blows for the half time whistle. There you can see the scoreboard. The scoreboard reads Desmonds 5 points, and you can see the flags for yourself how strong the wind is blowing. Now Crokig 1 goal and 4 points. They're way off at half time. I'm sure that the trainer of both sides will have some words to say because Desmond's definitely missed some golden chances in the later part of the first half there. Crokes too got some good chances, but as it reads at the moment, it's 1-4 to 5 points. And the teams go in at half time. Well, there you see some of the young Desmond supporters, and they're down there, their daddies and their in-laws and their relations are all playing, and they'll be hoping that it goes back to Desmond's. The Crokes are coming back out onto the field again, and we'll keep the camera just over there for the moment because Castleisle will be out very shortly. John, at this stage, how can you see it going? The wind is still blowing as strong as ever. Crokes are leading by 2 points. Will it be enough, do you think, John?
Well, like I said at the very beginning, they elected to play with the wind. They took time to settle. Desmond took a couple of early scores. And eventually, the one thing that brought them back into it, I suppose, was the goal from the penalty. Now, I was delighted actually to see that put away because I like to see indiscretions like that punished. And there's no doubt about it, the goal was well put away by Liam Hartnett. But Tom Roach, who's had a very good success rate from his free kicks, has kept them in the game. And you know, when it comes down to it, we talk about the game and the vital sections of the field. Midfield really, at the end of the day, is what dictates how much possession you get. both of these teams are capable of winning and scoring if they get enough ball. And as the first half aged, I thought Dermot Hannafin got better and better. And conversely, Noel O'Leary only came into the game intermittently, and Connie Murphy doesn't appear to be on his game at all today. For that reason, if Hannafin is allowed the latitude he was given in the first half, and with the win now behind them, I would have to say that Desmond's hold the upper hand. But that's really a matter for Crokes to decide. They'll have to get their game together in the half-back line in midfield and try and push up. Now, if they give their forwards enough ball, I believe myself, honestly, that if Crokes get 50% of the ball in the forwards, which is a tall order, they will win the game, because in those forwards there, in Pat O'Shea inside, Roland Neher at centre forward is playing very well. They're very dangerous, as well as the full forward. And funnily enough, down the line, who's marking Roland Neher, both of them appear to be playing a very good game. But I don't particularly subscribe to the idea of a centre-back who solos away up the field and lets his man behind him. That's all very well, but your first job is to defend. And I would rather see my centre-back holding the centre-forward completely out of the game than playing well himself and the centre-forward creating havoc. So in the second half, I think Down would be better to stay back, cover his man and not be caught out of position.
So it's all the play for in the second half. And Desmond's coming out on the field now once again, the final half of the dream they have longed for so long. And will it be for Desmond, will it be for Crokes? We'll have to wait and see. Yes, put it going. So referee Morris O'Sullivan about to throw in the ball for the start of the final half of the 1991 County Kerry Senior Football Championship Final, and as he does so, Crokes come on the attack, playing into a very, very strong point in this half. Desmond played well in the first half against it. Maybe Crokes can do it in this half. A chance now here by Noel O'Leary in front of goal. He'd have a pot for a point here. A good kick from Noel. A vital kick. And oh, off the crossbar, came back into the danger zone. It's still danger, but Conor Gainey grabbing it in there. Oh, danger in there out to Eugene Leonard. And Leonard now turning onto his right foot and driving with the wind down into the field in front of the stand. Ball breaking down to Christy Carney. And Carney playing it back into the hands of Willie Dom O'Connor. This man who works with Telecom and Tralee, or on post as we call it. He's still going forward. A chance of a score here. He'll set it up. Has a pot for the point. It looks to be a beauty. Willie Dom O'Connor gets the first score for Desmond after 46 seconds of the second half. Peter O'Brien coming out now once again into the wind. A very important score there for Desmond. Hannafin grabbing it, driving forward now. Inside him is Shane Curtin. A good pass to Curtin, and Curtin has gone right through inside. He's going to go for the point. A vital score and a vital kick from Shane Curtin. A score coming after a minute and a half. Two vital scores there. 1-4 for Nakokig. 7 points for Desmond's scorer, young Shane Curtin. Peter O'Brien kept very busy for the first minute and a half. The sides are level, 1-4-7, 7 scores to 5. Christy County off the chest. He's still driving forward. This man who has given great service to Desmond over the years, driving forward, turning onto his right foot. He's still going, dabbles back to his right foot again. If fist passes inside to Tom Broston. Tom Broston back to Shane Curtin. Shane Curtin has a pot for a point again. A curling, dangerous ball. A bit of pulling going on, and the referee says play on. Ball out to the right and harmlessly wide. Good kick out from Peter into the wind this time. High up they go for it, nicely fetched there by a Crokes man, and out to the middle of the field again. Away come the Crokey, nullig all there Lee Road, out. Oh, a very bad pass out to Shane Curtin. Shane Curtin is the man outside him, a good pass from Shane Curtin. And who would you think it is but Brian McMahon? McMahon in to Buckley, Buckley in front of goal, across to Hannafin. Hannafin goes for the goal, it's a beauty! What a goal from Hannafin! Oh my! 2 minutes and 59 seconds gone! Hannafin pounces, McMahon sets it up, Hannafin who rocks it into the back of the net, into Buckley, McMahon to Buckley, Buckley to Hannafin, Hannafin wham, and Desmond's lead, 1-4-1-7 as number 16 comes into the game. Brendan Keogh comes into the game for Crokes. Oh, unbelievable scoring, 3 minutes and 20 seconds. Brendan Keogh comes in, the man coming off here, I'm not sure, I think it's Patrick O'Shea, but Crokes have been battled in this to start of the second half, but remember, Desmonds have yet to maintain this, but some vital scoring there, John F.
Well, this is it, you see, Desmond played against that wind, and now that they have it, they're taking full advantage, and as this game goes on, Hannafin is having a greater and greater impact upon it. And there's no doubt about it that if they're not going to do something to prevent him from making his breaks forward, Crokes are in big trouble. They're going to have to get back into the game, get their shape together at centre field in the half-back line, because I said from there they're being beaten. Right across the half-back line, Christy Carney is laying the ball off there very, very well. Shane Cutton is playing well here, and Hannafin at midfield. So Crokes are going to have to get back in that sector if they have to hope of coming back and turning the tables.
A very, very cheeky goal by Hannafin, and if my memory serves me right, his father scored a goal in 1950. His son has done it today. Off the ground, a very debatable decision. You can judge from the camera yourself, but these Crokesmen never give up, and they're fighting terriers, and they're still at it. Well grabbed out there by their number 10 in towards Vincy Casey, and in Chinochas, the full forward, trying to put them into a danger zone again now. Action going on in here. Referee says play on. Charlie coming forward. Connor gaining his man with an action in there. Referee says it cancels each other out. Christy Carney foul. Oh, great catch by Carney. Foul. Referee says play on. Away come the Desmonds again. They lead by a goal. Charlie still driving forward. This man is up again. Referee is calling out a Crokes player here, and into the book is the name of number 16, Brendan Keogh. Well, I asked you earlier, could you name the Crokes team that played in 87 and 88? Well, that year in 87 was Colin Shea, Sean Clark, Mikey Doody, Aidan Kiley. Half-back line was John Clifford, Liam Hartnell and Donald Mangan. Midfield was John Gallivan and Ola Leary. Half-forward line was Connie Murphy, Connie Dock and Shawnee Shea. The full forward line was Pat O'Shea, Pat O'Donoghue and George Shea. That was the 87 team. This is 1991, September 22nd to be precise. It's a lovely day here in Austin Stack Park Tralee. Desmonds lead 1-7 to 1-4. Damo Line kicks high, Damo Line's kick out to the left and gone wide. Peter O'Brien kicking it out again now, a great kick into the wind, and these Crokesmen are great men to come back. Will they do it here? There's a long, long way to go in this game. Remember, only 5.5 minutes, and Desmonds can't afford to be kicking away misses like that. They kicked away a few very easy chances just before half-time. They're kicking away some very good chances now again, and there's a long, long way to go. Remember last Sunday in Croke Park, Meath were trailing by 11 points and unassailable lead, and back came them from the dead, and had there been more time they might have won it. Could this be a carbon copy today? Remember, Crokes are only trailing by 3 points. Desmonds may have a very strong win behind them. When Castleisland won in 1950 championship, that championship was played on a league basis up to the quarter-final stage, and Castleisland beat Austin Stacks, St. Brendan's and Dingle from Group A to qualify for the semi-final, where they beat. A free in here for Dr. Coast, quickly taking a chance of a score here. We're back with the action. We'll give you more details as time goes on. Young O'Shea has got it. He's going to go for the goal. Will he get it? It's well blocked down, and then Neher has it. Neher in front of goal. Neher shoots. It's a goal! It's a goal. It's in the back of the net. A great goal for Crokes. That's the score they needed. A vital score coming after exactly 6 minutes and 46 seconds of play. Well, I said these Crokes were a group of fighting terriers. They've done what Desmonds did a while ago. Worked the ball up the field when the odds were against them and rattled the back of the net. It should have been clear by Desmonds. It was not, however. The scoreboard reads 1-7 to 2-4. A vital score, John.
Well, like I said there, if Crokes could get enough ball up to their forwards, I always said they were capable. And again, Roland Neher did what I was saying. If he's given space, given time, you see what he's able to do. He collect the ball in the large square. He was able to create confusion, and a goal came out of it. And he will want to be watched very closely, both him and Vince Casey, because any few balls are going to come up. If Desmond's defence are cotton-napping at all, they're going to score. And basically, at this stage, it's up for grabs, I feel. If Crokes can get enough ball in the middle of the field, they're going to make this game very, very interesting.
And Crokes, yes indeed, have shown their fighting spirit. They've shown the experience that has stood to them over the years. They've contested 2, they've lost 2. Today the hunger, the appetite is there, and they're fighting upfield again now. Imagine from trailing by 3 points, leading at half-time by 2, then to find themselves trailing by 3. They're back in level terms again now, and they're driving forward. This could be another chance of a score here for them. The ball is bobbing about in there. It's grabbed in there by one of the Desmonds players, Shane Cutton, who's helping back deep in defence. Downfield to Tommy Boston. Losing the ball there, and nicely grabbed by John Gallivan. This man who's played a mighty football over the years. Down to Damo Line down to Shane Curtin. This young lad is coming of age here today in Austin Stack Park Tralee. To have a bad pass there, grabbed nicely by a grateful Crokes forward. That man, the captain, Shawnee Shea, losing it again. The ball is on the ground. Back out to Noel O'Leary, plays it back to John Clifford. John Clifford up towards number 15 and number 2. The ball is pulled on there with a foul by Brian McMahon. Quickly taken. Crokes are playing the ball very quickly, and that's working to effect for them so far. A Crokes man brought down here. A chance here of a free in for Crokes. A chance of a score maybe. Will they go for the quick one again? A loose man up the field here, all on his own. Nobody near him. His man was ball watching, but the man who was ball watching blocks it down. Eugene Leonard back to Neher, and Neher, who's causing problems in there from time to time, into a loose man inside. Vince Casey, well broken away from Vince Casey by young Tommy Horton, but Casey grabs it again. Casey Massey back out to a man all on his own. This man number 10 going right through, goes for the score. A great score from Connie Dock, the 28-year-old Connie Doherty, whose favourite player is Jimmy Barry Murphy, and Connie Murphy doing like Connie Doherty doing a bit like Jimmy Barry, pouncing there on a great chance, and he took his point. Crokes lead again. That score coming after 9 minutes and 11 seconds of the second half. The scoreboard reads 1-7 for Desmonds. That's a total of 10 points. 2-5 for the Crokes. The Gate Force win still behind the Desmonds. Charlie now going back to kick out this one. 1991 has been a year of draws in Common Look Class Gael competitions. Could we be heading for one again today? This kick out taken by Charlie, the 34-year-old baker, kicking out to the middle of the field. Connie Murphy handling the ball but also handling the man. Connie Murphy playing very, very quiet today. Connie, of course, who's now based in Dublin as a trainee guard. This free kick to be taken by Dermot Hannafin. Well, I wonder, I asked you earlier how many of you could name the Castleisland district team that contested the 1979 county final. Well, the team that was named to begin in that county final was Tom Lynch was in goals, Paul Ganey, Charlie Nelligan, Mossy Dore, Jerome Lean, John Kearns and Eamon Welch. Midfield with Mikey Condon and PJ Kearns were named to start there. Mihal Kearns, Dan McKelligan, Philip Orden. The ball into the danger zone, fisted away again, out a chance here. The full forward line was John Hawk, Lee McKelligan and Willie Lyons, or Billy Lyons, who's a selector on this team here today. And at some stage in that game, Dan McKelligan, how many of you can revive your memory and tell me was Dan McKelligan playing on that particular Sunday or not? The ball is over on the far side. It's a free out for Crokes, but it goes into the hands of a Desmonds man. That man, Willie Dom O'Connor, and he surges forward, and as he does so, he is brought to the ground, and it's a free in for the Desmonds, to be taken this time by, it looks to be Martin Downey. Yes, Martin Downey is going to take it himself. So far in this competition, I was saying it earlier on, the Desmonds have scored 533. Against them has been scored 3 goals and 32 points. Up comes Martin Downey. We'll watch this. Downey's kick is floating nicely, but over the bar, a marvellous point from Downey. And the sides are level again. That coming after 11 minutes of play. As I was saying, Desmonds have scored 533. That's an average of 1-9 per game for them. Against them has been scored 332, an average against a 1-7. Dr. Crokes have scored 551, an average 4 of a goal and 13 points. They've been scored against them 342, an average of a goal and 10. Well, those are the statistics on their way to today's final. Desmonds beat St. Brendan, South Kerry and St. Kieran's. Crokes beat West Kerry, East Kerry and the Mitchells. And it's the first all-club final since 1989, the last one being back in 1963. Dom O'Line taking steps, getting away with the referee along it, but Dom O'Line kicks out to the right and harmlessly wide again. The scoreboard reads 1-8 to 2-5. Kick out again to the middle of the field. Up they go for a well fetch by Noel O'Leary and a vital fetch by young O'Leary across to Connie Murphy, and Connie Murphy is needed to come into the game now this stage for Crokes, but Sean Clark, the man who's driving forward, he played centre half back in the county final previously. He's foul, referee says, by Tommy Roach, and he's going to take it quickly. No, he will not. The last time Crokes won the county final back in 1914 was an extraordinary result, because Crokes were beaten by Tralee in the first game in Listowel by a point, and there was a disputed point in that particular game, so much so that John Mitchells, who won the title, called a meeting the following week and they demanded the replay. In the replay, the first game was a draw, and the next replay was not played again until 1916, and on that occasion Dr. Crokes won their last county title. A chance here for Crokes in front of goal. O'Shea has gone right in, he's going for the goal, back out to the number Connie Murphy. Connie Murphy hesitates, they say who hesitates is lost. Back to Connie Doherty. Is it Connie Doherty? I'm not sure, but another point for Crokes. A good point for Crokes. They lead again 2-7 to 1-8. So Charlie coming out now once again. A great score there by Connie Dock, as he's better known to his pals around Killarney. Will Connie Dock have reason to celebrate tonight? Well, time alone will tell. But this Crokes club are Munster club champions, and they end that for nothing, I tell you. This free kick is quickly taken again by Nakokig, and away comes Sean Ishii again into Nehar, and Roland Nehar going on his bike. A good ball through the centre to Connie Dock, back to Nehar. Pat O'Shea grabs it, Pat O'Shea lets it go, Nehar lets it go to O'Shea. O'Shea has a pop for the point, he dummies Youngini, he goes for the point, he flicks nicely and flicks over the bar. A beautiful point by Pat O'Shea, a beautiful point by Pat O'Shea. A marvellous score. Pat O'Shea, of course, engaged a tackler's daughter. What a night would make in their house, what a week would make in Killarney. The wedding might come in the next couple of weeks, so this was to happen. It's closer to win this title. The side are now winning, are leading by 2 points, 2-7 to 1-8. The next couple of scores are going to be vital. Will Crokes' experience tell out here? The ball driven down the field here into Vince Casey. Their forwards now playing very, very well. Playing dangerous, good football. Putting the defence under pressure. Vincey Casey says, I'll take you on, Tommy Horton. I'll try and go past you. Tommy Horton says, no, you won't. Vincey gets the pass inside. Oh, the man has turned here. Connie Murphy has it. Plays it back out to Vince Casey. Casey out to Pat O'Shea. This County Kerry coach in charge of coaching football. A great pass across to Neher. Where's Neher's man? 10 yards away from him. And Neher almost punishes that. Dom O'Line, you were away from your man at that stage, and Neher got ample room to move. By Charlie out to the middle of the field. In 1950, Castleisland played a Killarney team. In 1991, they're playing a Killarney team. In 1950, the scoreboard read 1-7 to 1-4 at full time. What will it read today? At the moment, Crokes are ahead, and they're in a dangerous position again. These forwards are very dangerous, and in particular, as John O'Keefe said earlier, this man, Pat O'Shea, has to be curtailed with a great kick. It looks to be good from Vince Casey. A vital score from Vince Casey, and Crokes now lead. In a very, very good position now. We make it exactly gone in the game. 15 minutes and a half gone. They lead by 2-8 to 1-8. They lead by 1 goal. John, they're looking good at the moment. Will they stay there, you think? Very strong wind.
Well, yeah, very difficult to say, but I must say the Crokes selectors move very swiftly. They switch the centre-back to right half. Sean Clark plays the centre-back and he's steady. And Noel O'Leary is doing much better centre field, breaking the ball down from Hannafin. And like I said about their forwards, Pat O'Shea in particular, Vince Casey, they're doing very well. They're running after the Desmond defence, and they're very, very dangerous on the move.
Shane Cutton, a great chance from young Cutton here again, and young Shane Cutton gets a marvellous score. After 15 minutes and 56 seconds of play, Shane Cutton gets a great score to bring Desmond back to within 2 points once again. 6 players plus Duke, of course, remain from the 1985 All-Ireland Club champion team. Charlie Dinny, Hannafin Christie, Martin Doney, Mike and Duke, all remain from that particular occasion. There's a bit of a switch on out here. Conor Gainey has been moved, I think, the centre half back, or moved it back. Connie Murphy, no, there's nothing, it's just a bit of a chat. We're not sure what's happening. You watch it on the screen, you tell us. Ball out to the middle of the field again. Hands go grabbing for it. Hannafin has gone, taking a break now for a while, and Crokes are on top and supplying their forwards with a lot of ball. And the supply they're getting, they're making good use of. Vince Casey has it. Connie Dock calling for it. Casey slung it up. This young man playing it in to Ger O'Shea. Will Ger O'Shea walk tomorrow morning? Oh, a push in the back. Referee says a fair shoulder, and Pat O'Shea has got it. Pat O'Shea back to Connie Dock. Connie Dock, he's turning onto his right foot, going to go for the point here. He'll have a cover, his left foot, he's got a lot of space here. He's still going inside, a lot of steps. Referee says it's a free out. The score will not count. He awards a free out. So, Jim O'Connor, of course, the father of Duke, who trained the Castleisland team, was a member of the 1950 squad as well. He was involved in the training, he was an officer, and we saw a picture of those in the Kellyman during the week. And Duke and Dave Gainey in particular, those two have been together with Castleisland Desmond for a good many years. They put in an amount of work. They've worked as a great team. Jimmy Graney and Billy Lyons joined them in more recent times. For Killarney, well, Tackler, what can we say about Tackler? He's man Donny O'Leary, Tiggy Fleming, the work they've done, the sticking abuse they've got over the years. Will it come right for them today? Will it be a draw? Will Desmond win it? Well, we've still got approximately 12 and a half minutes to go. Desmond's trailed by 2 points. Whichever side will get a goal now, we'll put a bit of pep back into it again. Willie Dom O'Connor, a man who once had deadly fire in his belly. Can he show a bit of this now for the final half an hour? He's the final quarter now. He's driving forward as he drives forward. He showed it over the sideline. The referee says not a push, and he's a sideline ball upfield for Crokes. Oh, the next 5 minutes will be vital now. But Neher, look at the space Neher is getting, an amount of space, John.
Well, I've always said about it, he's very, very dangerous. And Crokes, I know that Crokes are working the 1-2 very well. They're not too bothered about the wind. It's suiting them actually to play into the wind because they're working the ball very close to goal. They're working the 1-2. They remind me a bit of the down forwards last Sunday. They're able to run at the Desmond's defence. But I think what it all comes down to really here is, can they continue to get supply? Because that's what they're going to need. Hannafin has gone out of the game at the moment. He may make a burst back into it. Noel O'Leary is playing well at the moment. But if they can hold the ball, if Crokes can hold it up there and bring it upfield, they're capable of winning. But I believe that there's another burst in Desmond's, and it really depends on what they're going to get out of that.
So we're into the final 12 and a half minutes. And Crokes coming on the attack again. The experience of 87 and 88. I'm sure as the rain comes down here now, North Stack Park Tralee, the experience of 87 and 88 will be standing for these fellas now. And they're driving forward confidence. John Gallivan into Connie Dock. Connie Dock driving forward now. He gets a good rattle of his shoulder. He's still going onto his right foot across to where there's a man. Is it a Crokes man? No. This is a vital, going to be a vital clearance here, but it's caught there by a Crokes man. And that Crokes man grabbing it is Brendan Cho. Grabbed now by Connie Murphy, a very important fetch by the young Garda trainee. He may be a superintendent in years to come, who knows. And Murphy gets a vital score, a great score from Connie Murphy. Not when it was badly needed, and a very, very important score. Crokes are lining up for another sub as the rain begins to come down here. Official time 25-5 on a windy, wet, drizzly Sunday afternoon here in Austin Stack Park, Tralee. Crokes lead 2-9 to 1-9. A goal between the sides now. Charlie comes out again to kick this one into the sky. 19 minutes and 40 seconds left. Desmond's need to get the next goal. If Crokes get it well, they're going to be in the driving seat. But this Desmond's team have been through a lot together. Will they be through more together? Heading for the sideline, gone towards the sideline. Linesman over there awarding a line ball to Crokes up the field will go. The Desmond supporters underneath us here chanting Desmond. The crowd in the stand, nobody leaving. This sideline ball across on the far side. Kick downfield, a great kick downfield by John Gallivan. Crokes nicely flicked on here. Who's going to win this one? It looks to be Connie Dock, is it? Connie Dock has it across the field to a man all on his own. Looks to be Shawnee Shea. And Shawnee Shea, what a proud night it would be for him being captain. His father, of course, chairman of UDC. Into Pat O'Shea, it's gone too far. Pat O'Shea is at night, he's disgusted. The ball gone wide, it won't count. Charlie Nelligan now in a big hurry. There's no time to be wasted here at the moment. The ball has been driven out again. And Charlie steadies him to drive back. Will this be his last chance to win a county championship medal? Hannafin is needed now. The ball is getting slippery and slidey. Hannafin grabs it again. Will he emulate the work of his father back in 1950? Desmond's driving on the attack in here, picked up off the ground in there, and referees awarding a free in there as the rain comes teeming down here now. We're into the last 9 minutes of this game, allowing for a bit of injury time. Desmond need to get a few points, they need a goal. Crokes, will they now be relying on the experience of 87 and 88 to pull them through? Their forwards have played well. Into the field comes Tommy O'Sullivan, the son of Timmy Sullivan. Off the team comes Denny Lyons. He's further in the middle. The kick is good over the bar. A very good score indeed. All the way over the bar by Martin Downey. And now the game is in the lap of the gods. The next 8 minutes will tell a lot as Peter O'Brien, as you can see, no rush whatsoever. John, how can you see it going now?
Well, like I was saying, it's very, very tight. Connie Murphy seems to have come out of his shell there in the last 2 minutes. Got a vital score. Hannafin, for some reason that I can't quite explain, has gone out of the game. Maybe he hasn't played enough football to be able to last the full period, but if he can be kept out of it, I think he actually is on the ball now again. As I say, it's really down to how much possession is going to be won at midfield in the last 5 minutes, because definitely Crokes are capable of winning it if they get enough ball and if they can hold that defence together and work a couple of balls up.
The experience of 87-88 now, John, is standing in a big way, you think?
This is what I've been referring to all along, and I know it's my own team, Duhallow. I know how important it is in the last 10 minutes in the height of the facilities here to actually have been there before and have lost before in situations like this. They know what's required to stay there, and I see Neher is on the run here. Desmond's are very, very fortunate that something major didn't come out of that.
A very vital interception there. This will be another chance for them down the field, but again Hannafin misjudges it. The ball is on the ground. The next goal will be vital. A free upfield to Crokes. Good kick from Noel O'Leary. 2-9 to 110. 15 points to 13. 2 points between the sides. A free out for Desmond's. Tommy Sullivan is in the game now, he grabs it. Donald has gone up to the forwards at this stage and gone back into defence of Shane Curtin. Tommy Roach now knows that Christy Carney needs to hold this ball, that he does. This man, will he come now when he's most needed? Hannafin is badly wanted now as well. He floats a dangerous probing ball in, but the Crokes man coming across his hop is vital. He grabs it nicely. Looks to be John Clifford, I think. Out to John Gallivan, John to John. Downfield again in towards Neher. Neher loses the ball this time to Tommy Roach. Tommy Roach going forward, being tackled by Connie Dock. Referee says take the free. Quickly taken by Hannafin. He calls back for the action again. Should probably have allowed advantage there, but he had the whistle blown. But the time is ticking and ticking. And now watch we say 24.5 minutes gone. 5.5 minutes left in the game. 2 points between the sides. A dangerous probing ball. He's had a man gone inside here. Out to the right. Could have been a point and gone wide. Peter O'Brien, a great kick into the wind, and Crokes have played superbly in the second half against all the odds. They came out playing against a gale force wind, and Desmond went into a 3-point lead, but still they kept battling and battling. Desmonds are now battling back, and it's a 50 for Desmonds. Can they get a score from this? A bit of action there behind the goal as the ball will be taken out. Referee marches on time to cool it down. This 50, it won't be delayed, I'm sure. The captain, Eugene Leonard, is kicking it out there too. Martin Downey is going to take it. He'll go for the point. The wind is blowing as strong as it has blown here in Austin Stack Park behind him for a long, long time. You might see your screen getting a little bit wet now because there's another sub. John Lord will be coming into the Desmond team very shortly, the goal poacher. But for the time being, Downey has the pot. It's not a great kick. Will it find the Desmond man in there? It's on the ground in there. Referee's in there, but the ball is bobbing about in there. The Desmond man had the ball back out to Tommy Rose. Tommy Rose's kick is out to the right and gone wide. Oh, a great chance gone a begging there. I can see Dave Guinea's head going down to the ground. A great chance gone a begging there. John Lorden coming into the Cast Island Desmond's team. Coming into the Cast Island Desmond's team. I'm not sure who's going off. It looks to be Martin Downey over in the far corner, and Johnny Lorden coming into the game with 26.5 minutes gone. Desmond's trailing by those 2 points, 2-9 to 110 in this historic 1991 Senior County Final. Where is this Bishop Moynihan Trophy going? Christy Carney telling him to cool it down now as the rain comes blowing into our camera here. Let's hope it's not affecting your viewing. These will be vital, vital moments. Christy Carney says he's going to have a pot himself. John O'Loughlin is coming out to have a pot at it. Would he kick it high? Would he kick the point? Well, we'll have to wait and see. As Micheál O'Hare used to say long ago, time is ticking and ticking. The experience of 87, 88, those defeats. Damo's kick is not a great one. It's a very poor kick actually. Didn't ride it at all. And the ball coming out to midfield to Noel O'Leary. And Crokes now driving forward again. Connie Murphy, ball over the sideline. Kept in play nicely down to young Neher. And Neher, the soccer player, originally pulling the ball there. I don't think he meant that particular free kick, but Manasar Solomon going in, put him into his book, into the book he will go. Crokes now in these dying minutes, 27 minutes and 50 seconds gone. The rain you can see pouring down. They're coming on the attack. They lead by 2 points. They seek the insurance points. Casey pulls in the ball. In there for it goes Tommy Horton, pulled in the ground. Out to the right, but referee said it's going to be a free out. Charlie will hurry when I'm sure. He will not rush it, but he'll kick it fast as he ever kicked in his life across to Eugene Leonard, the captain. He knows now that time is ticking and ticking. The crowd are still staying in their seats. A goal will win it. But they need a goal now. We make it 28 minutes and 12 seconds gone. And in these vital stages, it looks now, John, would you say the title is going to Killarney?
Well, I suppose memories just now come spreading back at 87 in extra time in the last minute. When Crokes thought they had the game won and Thompson got that ball downfield, and we all know what happened there. So it only takes one chance for Desmond, one ball to be floated in this win, and it's a goal. But I think Crokes are holding out very well. It's really down to the last.
Here's the ball you're talking about, what will happen in here. It's going to float down. Will there be a score? It's grabbed by the Crokes defence in there. The ever cool, the ever calm Crokes defence. 28 minutes ticking into 29 gone, and away they come again. The tackler will be having a night of nights. Johnny O'Leary, Mike Neeson, Tiggy Fleming, all the officers, the great men in Crokes Club who put work year after year, the stick they've taken. Well, it now looks like, bar a miracle goal, that Crokes are going to become the 1991 Senior County Football Champions. And Mike Buckley is coming into the field. Referee has not yet seen him. Free kick being taken across on the far side. Mike Buckley comes in. He has not yet been seen. The game goes on. Hannafin grabs it. Will the goal come? Desmond do need a goal. Nothing else will do. Referee awarding a free upfield. The time 29 minutes and 24 seconds gone. We just rubbed the lens there because the ball is being floated into the danger zone again. In towards Tom Brosnan. And the croaking John Gallivan. I am sure he's driving forward again. This man has played superbly downfield, down towards Conor Guinea and towards John O'Shea. John O'Shea brought to the ground. Avoid the free kick now. Crokes will slow it down, I'm sure. So Vince Casey coming off for Mike Buckley as the kick is quickly taken in by Noel O'Leary. Into this man, Roland Neher. Roland Neher still driving forward, looking, he's being brought to the ground, yes indeed, and it's going to be a free in. Time is up in our watch. We make it 30 minutes and 30 seconds gone. The Crokes win. Bidding now for this final point. It will surely be the second last or maybe last kick of the game. Back stands the man who's taking it. That man, the Kerry coach, Pat O'Shea, brother of Shawnee, first cousin of Colum and Padraig. What a night it will make in the O'Shea household. What a night it will make in Killarney. They'll burn the town of Killarney. Tattler Jack could retire because of business he'll do for the next few weeks. And the point to get over the bar. And Crokes are going to be the 1991 county champions. 2-10 to 1-9. 2-10 to 1-9. Charlie being told to kick it out. 2-10 to 1-10 Gomelash Gale. 31 minutes and 10 seconds gone. The kick out to the middle of the field. Referee not blowing it yet. The game continues, but as it does, Crokes seem to be going from strength to strength. The ball is grabbed here by Pat O'Shea. Sean O'Shea, the captain. Pat O'Shea driving forward. He's now killing time. The basketballer, the hurler, the footballer. Oh, that's the entire Crokes panel will be delighted with themselves. Desmond's not giving up. A push on the Desmond's player there, but Desmond's not giving up. Desmond's not giving up. They know if they get a goal, they'll be back for a replay, but Crokes know they lost it before. They cannot possibly lose today. Referee blows for the full-time whistle. The game is all over. The Crokesmen bursting onto the field. There you see them down here. There's hugs all round. There's Jack. He's being congratulated. Oh, what a happy man. There are tears of joy coming down to him. And we say to him, and he selects a marvellous, fantastic performance by Crokes. 2-10 to 1-10. A victory that we must chalk down to experience. Desmond's team were on top for quite a lot. Died at midfield, didn't take those vital chances, then some great chances. Those chances went astray. But we have to say, Crokes, you deserved your victory today. You fought long, you fought hard. They will see Mikey O'Connor congratulating Eddie Tackler. There is Tackler coming over to Dave Gainey here below us. Dave Gainey, Donald Duke O'Connor, they're great friends in real life, and I'm sure that those lads will all be together tomorrow for the function in Ballygally House Hotel. Tackler O'Sullivan, what great work he has put in, and this entire Crokes panel, just apart from their team, of course, of the first 15, you had Brendan Clough who came on, you had Mike Buckley who failed to make it because of injury, you had Danny Cooper, you had Martin Burns, you had Mark Cooper, and then of course you had Eddie O'Sullivan, Donny Leary, Tiggy Fleming, their chairman Mike Neeson, the treasurer, all the officers on the Desmond panel, of course. You had a very, apart from their 15, while you had Dan Lucy, Willie Damo came on, John Lorden, Michael John Carney, Din Brown, Tommy Sullivan, Mikey Connor, Brian McMahon, Michael Courtney, Ty Prendable, John Enright, John Roach and young Patrick Wiles. But the day belongs to Crokes. Desmond's, yes, they didn't give up, but Crokes gave it everything, and in the finish, John, you would have to say that experience definitely won it for them.
Yeah, well, while you would feel a certain amount of sympathy for Desmond's, and they're going for their first championship, and I would feel very sorry having been in that position myself and having to lose in such a tight game. My heart really goes out to Crokes, because I know what it's like to lose county finals. Duhallow had to lose 2 in recent years before they won 1. And we were all here in 87, we saw Crokes lose in such heartbreaking circumstances in extra time, and again to lose to a great St. Kieran's team in 88, and to come back and win the Munster Club last year. But now really to win this, in my view, is a greater achievement altogether, to win the Senior County Championship. And I think really it's a performance, and it's a result for guts and commitment. They gave away a very good goal to Dermot Hannafin early in the second half, 3 points up with a strong wind. And at that stage, I think, and it's time to say this really, that the Crokes selectors must be complimented for making a few major changes, switching the centre back to right half, bringing on the sub to left corner back, and bringing Sean Clark out. Roland Neher, like I said from the very beginning, had a very big influence in this game. Connie Murphy came into it, and Noel O'Leary began to stymie Dermot Hannafin eventually, who ran out of steam. But I must say, it's great for them. They've won it in the end. No one can say but that Crokes don't deserve it. They've fought so hard and so long, and after so many years to come back and win it at this stage, I think it's great for football, and it's great for them to get their just reward in the end.
So there we have it as the crowd make their way over for the cup presentation, and any minute now, the man you saw overlooking Ladies' View during the week, that man, or the man you saw overlooking the Lakes of Killarney during the week, the team captain, Sean O'Shea, will collect the cup.
They have waited a long time. They have experienced many frustrating hours, but in true Kerry football spirit, they never gave up, and now they are undisputed champions of Kerry, Dr. Crokes.
Sean Kelly there, the County Board Chairman, about now very shortly to make a presentation to the winning Crokes captain, and look at those Julian supporters.
In the game to the Canish, our guys are gone on their own function doing now. Connected that Sony Garage, Con Bishop Marnin, a Hogan Garage, Cadil on Chile, a Galbreen and no go. Ladies and gentlemen, I think everybody would agree that this was a great final, one of the best finals we've had in years.
Crooks and the Desmonds. And on behalf of Kerry Gaeldom, I say thanks to the players who defied the weather out there today and gave us such a magnificent final which restores the morale and the start setting of Kerry County Championship football again. Thank you, Desmond, and thank you, Crooks.
Sean Kerry playing compliment there to both teams, and it was indeed a marvellous county final. More so for Crooks than Desmond, but that's the way football goes.
I would like as well to thank the referees, officials, and the Irish banks who have sponsored this competition and the hurling competition for the past 3 years, and I'm delighted that this, the third year, everything has worked out so well. But where everybody is concerned in Killarney and in Kerry House, the moment of truth is the presentation of the trophy. And I must say that nobody will begrudge this wonderful sportsman here alongside me, who has travelled to all the minor venues around the country playing for the Kerry Hurlers. Today he gets the Bishop Marlene Cup, and it gives me great pleasure to present it to the one and only great sportsman, hurler and football, Shawnee O'Shea.
A very, very proud moment indeed as he raises the Bishop Moynihan Trophy aloft. The Bishop Moynihan Trophy goes where it came from, back to his Kerry. What a night they're going to have in Killarney. Oh, hasn't he lovely Gaeilge? And he's accepting on behalf of Kerry.
I'm not very good in speeches, but first of all, I'd like to thank the boys for playing a wonderful game today. It's a great honour for me, being captain of the Crofts, to accept this cup on behalf of each and every one of the tenants. We've trained really hard for this, like, you know, I suppose it's 15 months non-stop training for the Munster Championship as well as this thing. And it's a great honour today to win it, like. But it's a long time since we won it. 1914 was the last time. And we've been waiting a long time for it. And thanks to the God today was the day. I'd like to thank the Desmonds for a great game, like, you know, it could have been anyone's game. But we got a couple of extra points and we won the game. But fair play to the Desmonds, and I give them 3 cheers. Hip hip! Hip hip! Hip hip! Thanks very much.
So there you have it. The cup has been received, and Crokes are the champions. We'll now try and meet some of the people involved as to how they're feeling at this moment. So straight away here after the game with me, Chairman of the Crokes Club, Mike Neeson. Heartiest congratulations, a fantastic victory, Mike.
Very good party. It hasn't sunk in yet. The game was never over until the final whistle. I thought Desmonds were going to win right through. Even at half time, I thought our chances were gone. But our fellas are capable of that kind of football. We did it against West Kerry in the quarter-final. They came back at us and we played against the strong breeze, and our fellas can do it. It was absolutely fantastic the way our forwards line passed around the ball there in the last 30 minutes of the game, and our backs fair juice to them, our centre feet. They all played well, a fantastic panel, and we haven't sunk in yet. 1914 is a long time. I don't know how they celebrated then, but we definitely know how we're going to celebrate now.
So what's the plan for tonight, Mike, from here?
Plan, first of all, 6 o'clock at the Grotto in Killarney. We have 2 bands ready to march us through the streets of Killarney, and we'll have an all-night dance in the Needle tonight, starting at 12 o'clock. And everybody welcome, fans and all.
Tell me, Mike, about the mascot. I saw the mascot there with the Crokes team at the beginning. Who's that young fella?
A very special link with the club. Our mascot was Patrick Maloney. He'd be a sister of a nephew and niece of the other Hooves, and you had Johnny and Pa, who played great football with the club right through the years, and of course his uncle, the late Lawrence O'Donoghue, was one of the greatest players ever for the Croke Club, who died tragically just 2 years ago, more or less, on this month. And it was a great link for us to have young Patrick Maloney there as a mascot.
So, Mike, have a great time, enjoy the celebrations, and well done.
And we'll order a couple of copies of videos. Thanks, Paddy.
As far as I'm concerned, we played hard, and you know, as far as I'm concerned, off the field, we're great friends. We'll be friends. You deserve the cup. You were the best team, and wish you luck in it. Thanks very much.
Paddy, we've been training hard for 12 or 16 months for this, like, and to see here now, it's just unbelievable.
You can't believe it, really.
Oh, I can't believe it, Paddy. I'll just sit down here now for a while and see everybody passing in and out, and it'll sink in tonight.
What's going to happen, Paddy, with the post in Killarney in the morning?
Nothing, I'd say. If they call to Main Street, I think everybody knows where the post office is in Main Street. If they call there, it'll be there for them.
Have a great night. I mean, at long last, it's all come right. Heartiest congratulations. At what stage did you feel you had it?
Well, Paddy, I just, after half-time when that goal went in by Desmond, I said, oh no, not again. But when that second goal came in by us, I said, we're on the road. And they played true football, what they were able to play after that. Lovely controlled football, worked the ball to one another. And the forwards, oh, they were fantastic. And the support by the backs when it really mattered. I can't believe it. I just can't believe it.
Fantastic. John Clifford, captain in 87 and 88. How's the feel today? A dream come true?
Unbelievable. There's no other word for it at the moment. Unbelievable. We know tonight or tomorrow when it sinks in.
Tell me, Mike Buckley, how are you feeling at this stage? Mike, you made your appearance, you were out through injury. Disappointed not to start, but straight to come on.
I think so, Paddy, yeah. It's been a long road, and I tell you, no team deserves a county championship like this team, and having suffered 87 and 88, I'm just sitting down here and I'm just taking it all in because it's great.
It's going to make a mighty week in
Killarney. You could surmise that, all right, I'd say, yeah.
Well done. Well, Colm O'Shea, in your last two county finals, you played in goals. A big change to be out there today playing in the half-back position.
Big change. I was worn out after about quarter of an hour, like, and it was just pure heart from there on, like, yeah. Delighted it's over.
Can you tell me how you were feeling with 2 minutes to go?
I was coming back to 87, like, you know, 2 points up. I was just praying, like, that there was no more mistakes. The ball came down my wing anyway. I was going to kill somebody, like, because I knew what it was like to be inside and goal, like, and so there was nobody coming down my side. But felt great when the final whistle went, like.
Is it your greatest footballing feeling today?
Absolutely, no doubt whatsoever, like. It's like just total relief, like, really.
Well done. Well done. We are amidst the excitement in the Crooks dressing room, the three selectors, the three great men. Eddie Thatcher, well done, congratulations, my man. Hatties, congratulations. Was talking to Tiggy earlier and Donny O'Leary here. Well, lads, it's taken a lot of stick over the years. Is this the greatest feeling of all, Eddie?
It has to be one of them, all right, Pod. As you know, we had our days out, and this is our day in. At one stage, it looked like we were gone, I'll be honest. Like Mike Neeson said, he said, I thought we'd be in the Desmond's dressing room a lot sooner than we were. But that's the way it goes. Our fellas, I always said they played better under pressure. And I think I've said that to you, Paddy, the last night. Under pressure is their best game. And they proved that. And I'm glad for them, each and every one of them. I'm glad for the old people of the Crokes that worked so hard over the years, the likes of Jackie Looney and those fellas that are not in the limelight that I'm in today, or Jackie, or Tiggy, or Donny. But they're the fellas that put these fellas here today. And we're very proud of that. And we're very proud of the team in general. Thanks, Pod.
Tell me, Donny, when Hannifin got that goal, tell me how you felt at that stage. Or what did you say to yourself?
I felt desperate, and the three of us did. We said, this is it. We thought we were gone. But that's when Noel really came into the game. When Noel came into the game, we started winning again. And Noel has been our ace through the year. When Noel plays well, the team plays well.
Donny, a fantastic feeling. Is it your greatest footballing feeling today?
Oh, no doubt about it, yeah. It's a great day for the Crokes, great day for the club. 3 years of preparation, really, to get this far. And just great to come out on top once. Came the hard way, you know.
Had you much discussion about that, about those moves you made? Your moves that you made from the sideline were absolutely master moves, and they worked to perfection.
Well, some days they work, some days they don't. They work today, and we're all heroes today, but that's the way it goes. They worked out in the day, and that's how it comes today.
So tell me, Eddie and Tiggy and Donny, what are the plans for the rest of the month?
Well, we'll take a week off anyway. A long, good rest for a week, and we'll talk after that then.
Of course, it wasn't just alone the county title today. You're also now back into the Munster Club semi-final, or into the Munster Club Championship again, Tiggy.
That's right, yeah. We've been out in a cup final before that against Guineaguilla, and the Munster Club, I think, is against Finbars. Right. And someone was telling me it's the 13th of October, so they're not going to have much of a rest.
So tell me, Eddie, if you were asked to compare this with the win of the Munster Club title, would you put this before the Munster Club title of last year?
This is D1. This is the one we all waited for. Over the years, I'll tell you, Munster Championship mean nothing to us. This is the thing. You have to win at home.
So there we have it from the three men who took all the stick. They hold the Bishop Moynihan Trophy lock, and we say, well done to Crokes. It's going to make a week and a half in Killarney.
The idea is that we're going to have one quick drink out in the Earl of Desmond, right? That's for anybody who wants a quick drink. There's a couple of... No, we're not going there. A quick drink in the Earl of Desmond, right? And we'll meet you there. And then at Killarney, we've been Killarney for around... That's only private for the players. But we've been Killarney at the Grotto at 6:15. Right, now, this is 6. We have 2 guys.
So here with me we have Mort Gallivan, and Mort, you'll introduce us to the man here on your left, Mort.
John Moynihan. John Moynihan, I suppose, is steeped in Croke tradition. He was secretary for, I'd say, 45 years ago. And he was with the Fitzgerald Stadium as secretary. So he's one of the oldest Croke supporters and followers we have.
A fantastic day today, a fantastic victory.
Great, yeah, I never thought I'd live to see it. I remember bad days and very bad days, never knowing a victory. but today was really great. Makes up for every one of them.
Tell me, Mort, how did you feel with 5 minutes to go, Mort?
I felt I was a bit worried naturally, but once they kept playing the ball on, I felt we would scrape through. But mind you, it was very tense, fantastic. Desmond's played great football. When Desmond's got the goal, our lads raised their game by 20%. And I think it was from then on we were on the right road to victory.
Going to make a great week in Killarney, lads.
I hope so.
Thanks a million, lads, and well done. Well, Roland here on the 40. He's naked. If you're just seeing him chest up at the moment, we can't show you what's down below. But Roland, when I spoke to you during the week earlier, you said you felt you could do it and you didn't care who you were marking. You had a marvellous game out there today.
Thanks very much. That half-back line for Desmond to the best ones I come up against this year. Excellent. We were a goal down there midway through the second half. Things were looking dodgy. I think the spirit of the forward line was unbelievable. I think we really showed it well today, especially the forward line. Outstanding.
Tell me about the penalty. What happened before it, during it, and after it?
Well, all I can remember is that I broke free from Damo, and Pache got clear. He punched the ball over. I was thinking, would I tip it over to Charlie? So I caught it anyway, and I just tried to round him. I just remembered I was on the ground.
But you'd have covered.
Just about, yeah.
At the moment, you feel, is it the greatest feeling in your sporting life so far?
Oh, unbelievable feeling getting off the pitch. Unbelievable. I just could not believe when I saw Shawnee up there with the cup. Best feeling I ever have, and I probably ever will have.
Fantastic, enjoyed, well done. Wing forward Connie Doherty, a marvellous feeling after losing 2 finals. You were involved in both of those games. Is today the greatest feeling of your life in footballing circles?
Undoubtedly, yes. We worked very hard for this, and I think we weren't going to be beaten today no matter what. I think it's the best day the Crokes had in a long, long time.
At what stage did you feel the game was over, that you did won?
I never felt we did won. We got over that from the game against Kinmare, and I think we just keep fighting until the whistle now. I think we learned an awful lesson from Kinmare. I think the game is never over until the final whistle.
Will you go to work tomorrow, Connie?
I think we'll be in the Earl of Desmond at some time tomorrow, I think. Whatever time we'll be there, I don't know.
Right, enjoyed, well done. With me here, John Gallivan, who played a marvellous game today at centre half-back. John, can you believe it has come true?
I suppose, I don't know, I'll find out later on, Paddy. Just very happy, like.
The last time I spoke to you was after the Kieran's game in '88, and you were fairly down that day.
Yeah, we were. I think it's a great tribute to the team, like, that we came back after that, because it looked like we were finished there the year after, and last year when the Stacks beat us, but we kept plugging away and came back, you know. And today again we looked like we were beaten, and I think just a bit of team spirit there just brought us through in the end.
And at half-time today, going in, having played with the Gale Force win, did you feel you were in trouble, John?
Well, personally myself, I felt very nervous in the first half, like, and I think a lot of the players maybe in the same boat. I think when Kieran's went up the goal, like, we decided it was all or nothing then, like, we might have been playing cautiously up to that a small bit. It was all or nothing, and we just tore at it, and just went out well for us, you know.
Fantastic. You totally deserved a great game.
Thank you, Paddy.
Enjoy the week.
Thank you.
Thank you. Murphy, a marvellous feeling. The superintendent, who's now based in Dublin. Connie, how are you feeling?
I can't believe it, Paddy, I swear to God. It's 5 years, you know, I've worked with the lads, and I know how the Desmonds must feel now, because, like, we've lost 2 of them, and I mean, today, it wasn't just about, you know, when you're losing, it meant an awful lot to us, because I think after this year, if we hadn't won it this year, I think the team could have fallen apart, because it's devastating, really, to lose a county final, you know, and with the way we lost it in '87, and when we came back then in '88 and we lost it again then to Kieran's, we didn't play well. Fair play to Kieran's, they took the game and they won it well, but you know, it killed us then. And I mean, last year then when we won the Kerry Club, you know, the Munster, I think that brought the team back together. I think we started to believe in ourselves.
Yes, very important.
And I think actually the game in West Kerry really drove home to us against West Kerry in the park that we could play good football, because it was a good West Kerry side and we were up against it as well. We had played with the wind and we had only a couple of points at half time, and everybody is saying, oh, the Crokes are gone, the day is wet, they'll never do it now that we're sunshine footballers. But the will to win was there, and nothing was going to, you know, I mean, when Dermot scored the goal today, it looked terrible. I'd say everybody in the stadium were saying to themselves, this is Desmond's, they're going to win it by a cricket score. But it drove us on. I mean, it rose every lad on the field there to...
And the experience in the finish is what won if you noted about that?
I think it was experience. We calmed it down, we took our points, you know, we were kind of slowing it down because the wind was strong, and like, in fairness to Desmond, they kept coming, but they were taking their chances maybe a little bit fast if they had slowed it down a bit. But I mean, that's the way games go, you know.
Enjoy the week anyway. Connie's going to make a week and a half. Happy to be back in Dublin this week?
Tuesday morning.
Not so bad. Well done. Well done. Now here we are outside from the excitement of the Crooks dressing room with the president of the Crooks Club, 84-year-old Dicko Clifford. Well, did you believe you'd see this day coming, Dicko?
I never thought so. I didn't think I would.
Was it a good performance, would you say?
It was very good entirely.
At what stage did you feel that they had it won, or did you think it wasn't over until the final?
Last quarter especially.
How far back can you remember? Can you go back to the 1950 final? Can you recall the 1950 final the Killarney won?
They called them at all, but I remember all right.
Well, it's a great time, a great moment for the Crooks Club.
Down, the whole town.
Will you be at the celebration tonight, Dicko?
I hope so.
With the help of God. Well done. Enjoy it. Trainer of the Cast Island Tesman's team, Donald Duke O'Connor. What was the turning point of the game, Don, would you say?
I'd say just when Crooks got their second goal, we had been dominating just prior to that, and they got a freakish goal. Fair dose to them, they came back and got it, and I think that turned the game completely, because we had been dominating before that. It looked like we were going to win the game at that time. We had 2 wides after getting the goal. If we got the points at that stage, it probably would have put more pressure on Crooks. But fair dose to them, they rallied, came back, got a goal, and they have good fighting spirit, and they showed their work there today. You know, like, they committed themselves to the task. It looked like they were gone 9 or 10 minutes into the second half, but they stayed fighting away, and I presume, I'd say, being in 2 county finals helped them as well to keep plugging away, like, and they never said die, and fair dose to them, like, they deserved it. Long time overdue to them, like, but we'd like to have won it as well today, like, but these things happen.
Will this experience stanch, you know, do you think you can come back from that defeat and maybe go on to better things?
Hopefully, but at this stage, like, you feel so down, like, you don't know what is going to happen, but hopefully it will. If we can, like Crooks did it, I can't see why we can't do it again, like, you know.
Okay, Donald, well done, and congratulations. It wouldn't be final without meeting this man who we've met in many videos down through the years, a great Crooks man, Donny Sheehan. Donny, fantastic victory.
A great occasion. I'm thrilled to death. I thought I'd never live to see the day that we'd win one. We're beaten 2 finals, as you know, and the Kinmare match was a pure disaster. But I said today, lads, for the sake of everybody, keep it going. I was at 3 races, my horse won, and the fella gave a shout. Donny, that's the first leg of the double. The Crooks for the championship after that. And thank God his words came true. And I'm the happiest man here in Tralee today. And thank you, Paddy. And we're sorry for Castle Island, but we didn't win out the turn. We were definitely due one. It was our turn today. To be somebody else the next day.
Johnny, thank you very much. On that note, the views and the after-match action here in Tralee. This is almost bringing our video to a close. But now we head from Austin Snack Park, Tralee, which is almost empty here now. It's 25 to 6 on this Sunday evening. A historic day for Crooks. And we head to Killarney for what will be, I'm sure, a massive homecoming for their heroes tonight. So yes indeed, here we are in Killarney, and there we see the banner, Crooks for the Cup, and yes indeed the Cup has arrived. It's now 25 past 7 here in Killarney. It's getting dark, but the team are on the way around the town with a pipe band, and we'll be back here in any moment now. Absolute great excitement here in this town. A fabulous victory for the great team. The traffic building up and the people building up and gathering right around here. Yes indeed, fabulous excitement as the crowds await the arrival of this great Crooks team. So here they come, the victorious Crooks team being led by the Cullen Pipe Band. What a victory for a great and fabulous commitment. Here they come to the town of Killarney. We make it now 25 minutes. And the crowds are greeting Team Captain Shawnee Shea being held shoulder high. Team members gathering in behind. What a marvellous night for Killarney. And the crowds out here in their thousands. The rain of waterfall here is not dancing the foot of these people.
Bent Master Champions and 2020 Champions 1991.
Mike Neeson, the chairman of the club, introducing the 1991 Senior Kerry County Champions for the first time since 1914.
Dr. Crooks Senior Team 1991, led by Shani O'Shea at the back here. Give them a round of applause.
A very shy outfit is Crooks also, but I'm sure they're going to go on for the week.
But it's a great honour for me to be chairman to receive this fantastic audience out here tonight. It's absolutely fantastic, and words could not appreciate what you've done for us at the town of Killarney. The first speaker I'd like to introduce you, and how appropriate it is to have the captain of the senior team. His daddy is chairman of the UDC, Mr. Mert O'Shea.
Chairman, it's indeed an honour for me to be here this evening to welcome home a great Dr. Croke team. A team that has done this town and the surrounding areas proud, not alone today but over the last number of years. They kept trying and plugging away, and it paid off today. And indeed, most of Kerry don't begrudge them this one, because indeed, there's no doubt about it, they work very, very hard for it. And I think a lot of credit must go to the officers of the Dr. Croke Club for all the great work they're doing here inside in this town for the youth of the town. That's all I have to say on you. The best of luck and enjoy yourself for the night. You can be sure we will anyway.
It is 25 years for that. Another important announcement I'd like to make is captain of the Kerry team next year, we proved it today, will be Connie Murphy. Now the next most important man is the captain of the team, Sean O'Shea. He's going to say a few words to you.
I say no Irish this time, I miss, but I think the team would like to thank all the supporters anyway, especially for the. From the start of the championship right up to today, because they've been fantastic, because a team is not, good enough without their supporters as well, and most of all I'd like to thank the team for playing their guts out today, and it is great to have it back after 77 years, Ladies and
gentlemen, Mr. Eddie O'Sullivan. And please go for a Kerry select. I'm sure there were 2 votes out there, will we?
Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, really it's a great honour for us to come back here tonight. It's such a warm reception to be giving here. As you know, we had many bad nights, very bad nights.
What's to explain the way you feel at the moment? Do you think you had it?
That's what Kerry football is all about, winning and losing. 1982, 1983, and that's my story now for you. Fair play to Kilmare, they kept plugging away. I congratulate them from my heart. Good sporting team.
Did you think with 20 seconds to go, you had the game won?
I thought the game was won, yeah, definitely. Yeah. Thought this one. That's what it's all about.
Will it be hard to come back from that?
Well, I hope we'll be back again. Hopefully we'll be back next year.
Oh, you did?
But this happens to be the night that we were waiting for. It didn't happen today, it happened a long time ago when this team came together with the likes of Jackie Looney and all those fellas that worked underage night after night, Saturday and Sundays and Mondays. These are the men that deserve this credit. It's not me. Like a man said one time, you're only serving us. But Jackie Looney and those fellas done more the years gone by than we'll ever know. And I want you to... There are many other people that I'd like to thank especially, and that is the 2 masseurs that we had. They worked so hard for us over the last number of months. They were fantastic. That is Marie O'Shea and Catherine. We'll never forget you. Thank you. Lucas Shell Stadium, who gave us the park and gave us all the help we possibly could get. We won't forget that either. It was great to be backed up by everybody in Killarney to get this far. And I think it's marvellous that Lord Mercy and Michael O'Connor, we'll never forget him either, because above and firm I saw that man crying, and I know if he was here tonight he'd be crying very, very much. It's marvellous. To our chairman here, and I'll tell you this, I have worked with many chairmen over the years, I think he's marvellous. His work and his officers of the board are unreal.
to the players and their wives and sweethearts, they were marvellous. They were and mothers, they were just fantastic. I know well in our house for the last week we couldn't talk to one another. We were pushing one another out of the way. But that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. I say one thing anyway. We are happy to be back here with that cup. And nobody else in Ireland deserves a cup more than the Dr. Crokes Club. Thank you.
Oh, I'd like to thank all the lads back here. It wasn't last week, it wasn't the week before, it's back in January when they started. And they said in the month of January, if we keep up this, we'll win a county championship. And they have kept it up and won a county championship. And I say, lads, there's another one. Thanks very much.
Just one thing that I've been wanting to say this for a long time, but I get my chance now, is that I asked the Kerry selectors, whoever they are, for the coming year, I don't want to see 4 or 5 or 6 Croke players on for the first National League game in October, and then come championship to see one fella on, and maybe no fella on, which they've done before, with other county champions.
For everybody associated with football in this part of the county. As Mike said, I remember saying at a social, Dr. Crokes social 5 years ago, before I became chairman, that I look forward, please God, being elected chairman and presenting the Crokes with the Bishop Moynihan Cup. It has come to pass, and I am very pleased. And indeed, this is the first time that the new Bishop Moynihan Cup has come here to Killarney, where Bishop Moynihan spent an awful lot of his years as a bishop. So I want to congratulate everybody associated with the victory. It is a victory, I think, that even the most hardened individual would have to say that the Crokes really deserved. Because anybody who watched football over the last number of years, and particularly saw the heartbreaking defeats of 87 and 88, couldn't but be overjoyed for Dr. Crokes today. Because in winning, they not only did football justice, they did not only do Crokes justice, but more importantly, to every one of us as individuals, we all have ups and downs. The Crokes were down twice, they were written off, and they just kept going, and now they're on top of the world. Well done. Finally, I don't know whether it's announced or not, do you know who the man of the match is? You do? Well, Shawnee's brother, Pat. I suppose you could call him the Wizard of Killarney. Congrats, Pat. Agus Rash Ditch, I call here Lake of the Heel. Come on.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sean.
So the crowds head off along the streets of Killarney. They'll be heading into many, many pubs, I'm sure, eventually finishing up the team and their supporters will finish up in the Gleneagle Hotel in Killarney. But here you see Killarney at night time. The crowds heading away now. It's going to make, I'm sure, a night of nights. Heartiest congratulations to a great Croke side. They proved today experience would win it for them. A final scoreline from Austin Stack Park Tralee was 210 to 110, and the first title for Killarney since back in 1914.
When I see my baby, what do I see? Poetry, poetry in motion, poetry in motion, walking by my side, her lovely locomotion keeps my eyes open wide. Poetry in motion, see her gentle sway, or wave out on the ocean, could never move that way. I love every movement, and there's nothing I would change. She doesn't need need improvement. She's much too nice to rearrange.